Okay,
Welcome back to the Threats and Menaces podcast. We're your co-hosts. I'm Emin Stash,
and I'm Skull Ryan.
and today we're starting a sort of mini-series within the Threats and Menaces podcast. We're going to be talking about the Arkham games, and instead of going by release order, we decided to go with chronological order. So we're starting with Batman Arkham Origins, my personal, maybe second
Ooh.
favorite one in the series. What about you? What would you say?
Absolutely, mate. City's got to be number one.
It's as good as it gets. I feel like
Yeah.
Arkham Origins
But-
recently got the respect it deserves.
Good. Do you reckon it's because Conroy died, so now people are looking for like a new Batman? Or maybe it's because there's a new Batman Arkham Shadow coming out, isn't there?
Well,
It's kind of like a sequel.
I've always been a really good fan of Roger Craig Smith's portrayal. That's like one of my favorite parts of the entire game was his voice. But I think it's just more. I think it grew better as time went on, because at the time I think people were just shocked when they had the whole different cast and it was a sort of different studio making it.
It
So
felt
people
like
were gonna like
bootleg in a way, didn't it?
yeah,
Like, it's not
and then,
Conroy and Hamill.
and then people saw Suicide Squad and thought, you know what, this maybe is a good thing, isn't it? This probably is something that's worth something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm glad that it has the respect it has, or it deserves, because I really do hope it gets remastered.
Yeah, I can't believe they left it out of the bloody trilogy, or when they re-released Return to Arkham. Can't believe they left it out. It's a vital part of the story now.
Well, yeah, I think Rocksteady or I don't think they like it.
Yeah.
That really.
I was very surprised when Night had so many references to it. Like, I thought they were just going to ignore it.
Almost.
Yeah. Like, not only does he use the same, like, detective technology to find out where Oracle went, but Firefly makes direct reference. Deathstroke makes direct reference. But there's a bit of a tangent already. You know, like in Spider-Man No Way Home, where it turns out, other than the movies we saw, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield haven't had any other adventures.
Yeah, somehow, yeah.
Andrew's just been
like bashing thugs,
just been punching random dudes. Yeah, like Spider-Man fought Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Venom, and then no one for 20 years. That's a bit shit. But Arkham felt the same, because Firefly is like, you beat me once 10 years ago. Is he not fought? Is he only fought Firefly once? Where's like the history, the build-up?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think Arkham Origins almost tried to establish a lot that just didn't work within the confines of what Rocksteady was doing.
Yeah.
And then I think Rocksteady just got pissed, and that's why they just never really wanted to acknowledge it, because they're like, well, this just doesn't add up. Because even
this version of Batman keeps having just really bad long nights. You're telling me in this one night was the first time he ever fought Joker, Killer Croc, Mad Hatter, Deadshot. He had fought Bane before.
But yeah, did they hint at Nightfall?
I think only there's a Jean Paul Valley Batman suit, which you can unlock, but I don't think Nightfall couldn't have happened, because he's only been Batman for 2 years, hasn't he?
It has happened by the time Asylum is out.
Yeah.
But we never see it. But if you remember in the boss fight with Bane, when you're like bound to lose, like you have to lose, he like actually does the in Origins.
Yeah.
He does the move.
Yeah, in the prison at the end, he goes to break your back and misses.
It doesn't break his back.
No.
So it's like, it sort of makes Nightfall a bit more embarrassing, because like, well, you failed the first time, but you're trying to get me back again for that. But so like, there's a lot to tackle when it comes to an Arkham game. You got the story, the side quests, the costumes, the combat, the fucking characters. So I guess like a brief summary we could do would be, it's a long Christmas Eve for Batman.
Yep.
And there's a contract on his head from Black Mask, and he's got a bunch of assassins that try. I honestly, okay, we'll get to it, but yeah, it's I wish that they went a different route with the story.
Yeah.
The Black Mask turns out to be the Joker, and long story short, he beats the shit out of everyone.
Somehow.
Yeah,
somehow. I don't know how he did it.
Oh
But
yeah,
somehow,
no,
yeah. Joker says he's
I
only
feel
been in
bad.
Gotham a few days, and yet he's
I feel
basically
bad for Alfred.
seized. Yeah.
He, especially in Origins, because all he wants is to spend Christmas Eve with Bruce and have like dinner with him.
Yeah, with like his son.
Yeah,
Bruce is like, no, I'm going out.
he just treats him like shit for so much of the game. But I do like how they built up the tension. I thought that was really well done. And then they have like that, because that's one of my favorite cutscenes when they just blow up and they just
Yeah.
talk shit to each other. It's like, you may be. He's like, I am.
Yeah.
When the mugger
Bruce,
of the thief stops to think twice. That
Alfred
is
basically tells him, you are just a man. This is too much for you to handle.
He's like, you're gonna
And Batman's
trust fun
like,
and too much
no.
anger.
Yeah. Batman's like, no, I'm the only one who can do this. I'm going to go out there, kick some ass, whether
I
you
love
want me
that
to
thing where
or not.
he's like, it won't be my end, but it will be theirs. And he just
Yeah.
screams it. Fucking goes into the bat plane and just flies off the bat wing.
So a game that basically just copy pasted City, which is a pretty good game to, base your game off.
Yeah, I mean, you got
It had
all
a
the
lot of
gameplay
cool-
on nailed down.
Yeah. But what
But then they added
story-wise then?
things.
Yeah, like, well, they changed things, glue grenade instead of freeze
Yeah.
grenade, grapnel accelerator instead of
Well,
grapnel boost.
even I thought it was a bit like there was some things that they added, but they never brought it back, which I thought was a bit weird. Like even something as simple as, for example, when like a fight's about to begin, Batman goes into this fighting stance.
Yeah, he gets his fists out, doesn't he?
Never again. Like that was the only game that actually had that in there. There's that weapon he stole from Deathstroke that's like really fucking useful in every scenario you may have.
The rope thing.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but like you can shoot a henchman and he attaches to the gargoyle. And you do like the inverted takedown without having to do it.
Or you can attach him to like a gas canister and it'll fly into him and take him down.
Make another Two-Face. I love how many people should have probably died in the Arkham games, but just didn't.
Yeah, just from like the blood all. Imagine hanging from a gargoyle upside down for like an hour because no one's coming for you if you're a Joker goon or something and Batman gets you up there.
And as Batman, you can actually just stand there for 12 hours and just watch him. So you could force him to be there for that long.
Arkham Knight Scarecrow's like, I'm about to do it, Batman. Are you going to come and stop me? Just standing there in the middle of by the Canary Club, just not
Instead of getting into the truck, he just looks.
It's like, go on, do it.
Even like Joker, I think, killed maybe the most in that game. I don't know his exact kill count, but he did murder quite a few people.
Yeah.
It was cool though. Before you discover the Joker, like all the men are dead inside the bank, and even Batman's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
Did you like the twist?
I remember playing this game about 2 years after it had come out. I think I just wasn't really playing video games at the time. So I knew going in, it's the Joker. But I do know none of the promotional material told you it was the Joker, and everyone thought
they made
Black
it look
Mask
like
he's getting his time to shine. And I do think there's two characters in the whole Arkham series that got fucked over quite badly, and they would be Black Mask and Two-Face. But
two guns, bitch.
It's not for that, but it's a masterpiece. But the whole, I knew it was actually the Joker going in, and looking at the title, Arkham Origins. Obviously, the Joker's going to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, because it's basically their love story.
Yeah.
We were talking about it just before, but even just the way they handled the origin of Harley Quinn and Joker's infatuation with the Dark Knight and these obsession slowly build up from like someone who he just wanted to kill to then like all of a sudden he intrigued the Joker.
It's like in the Dark Knight, isn't it? He's like, kill you? No, I wouldn't know what to do without you.
Even like we're destined to do this forever as he's hanging like upside down.
Yeah.
But like I do love just I feel like the voice actors, like I said before, at the time got a bad rap because it wasn't Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, they were always going to get backlash for that, weren't they?
But yeah, like Roger Craig Smith and was it Troy Baker as the Joker? They nailed it for me. I love their portrayals when
And
it
at the
comes to those
time,
characters.
as far as we knew, Mark Hamill was done with the Joker. He'd just done Arkham City, and he publicly said after Arkham City, that's his last performance, because, you think the Joker's dead. That's that. So having someone else come in. But if I hadn't read in the credits that it was someone else, you couldn't really tell. He did a really good job, Troy Baker.
Well, there's a few things certain in life. There's Arkham games will always take place in one night. There's probably death is involved in that sort of certainty as well. And then there's Mark Hamill saying he's done with the Joker, but then only for him to come back like the next month.
Come back next
Although
time.
I do think now he is done. But at the time, he was like, I'm done, I'm not done. And then he keeps going back and forth.
Even now, if Conroy was still alive, he'd still be doing it.
He'd come back. He would come back.
Absolutely.
But Troy Baker, there's something about his performance that I really enjoyed. And I don't know if it's just something different or if it's just because he's generally funny and creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
Even just when he grabs Jim Gordon by the neck, or he gets him a headlock.
When he's in the electric chair.
Jim. He starts just going on about his name.
I like when he reveals to his assassins that he's not Black Mask. He's he tells Electrocutioner to start taking it more seriously and then kills him. And then when he sees Bane hasn't left, he just turns to Bane and goes, "Move it along, big boy."
Yeah, and then Batman robs the corpse of Electrocutioner.
Yeah. I think he took his wallet.
I think he took that guy's wallet. The ghost of Electrocutioner saves the day.
Electrocutioner's sidekick comes back in the Arkham Knight comics, but he gets killed immediately.
Oh, yeah. Even just the way that, they set up the whole, Alfred on the ground, half dead. The ghost of Electrocutioner. That's it.
Thank you, Lester Baczynski. It's like the Mysterio fight in Spider-Man 2, isn't it?
It is.
He hypes himself up. He's like, this might be a challenge, and then
people bloody go on about how everyone steals from the Arkham games. How about how the Arkham games stole from Spider-Man 2?
I know, but it's a snake eating its own tail.
Even with the detective vision. Spider-Man 3, I'm pretty sure, came out before it.
Yeah, and he's got spider reflexes, doesn't he, where it slows it down.
Spider-Man 3 has an actual detective vision.
Yeah.
Where you can see the footprints and everything goes to that blue shade and the yellow highlight.
Oh my god, you're right, it does as well. Who
knew that game was revolutionary?
I knew.
Lizards, Parker.
Yeah. I always knew, but
the only thing that would have made Arkham Origins complete is during the breakout. You see a man in his cell, but he's got white hair, and that is because he is a fiddler, and not the Riddler kind.
Not the Riddler fiddler.
If you're new to this wonderful podcast we call the Panel Pals Threats and Menaces, then you must be aware of a man named Skip Westcott.
We've got certain rules around here. You got to mention one of 4 characters per podcast.
Yeah, at least once. Skip Westcott, Micah Sin, Mike Murdoch.
Mike Murdoch, not Matt Murdoch. Google him. Mike Murdoch.
And J. Jonah Jameson.
Big Jonah.
Does not matter if it's a DC fucking episode. We gotta mention them.
Yeah, we gotta fit them in there somewhere, dude.
Technically, if you want, a headcanon could be that Skip Westcott appeared at the end of Arkham Origins. When Deathstroke is doing push-ups, just imagine it's Skip.
It's Skip with one eye.
He's got the white hair. Yeah, maybe him and the Mad Hatter got into a disagreement about fondling people.
Skip's like, "What are you doing, Hatter? That's a girl." Skip only likes boys.
Mad Hatter. Should we get to Mad Hatter?
We may as well now, mate. And I honestly...
Possibly the darkest side mission you'll ever see in an Arkham game.
There is the hint that he may have felt up this little girl at the end of his quest, but it reminded me of the Asylum Scarecrow levels where you're rushing through basically Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
And the visuals were quality, mate. I love the look of it going through this dead gothic, gritty looking fantasy place as Hatter's talking shit.
You might notice some similarities to a certain Spider-Man 2 the video game with Mysterio.
Oh my god.
The mirror. What about the giant mirrors? The funhouse?
Of course. Again, mate. He just can't help himself.
Well, it is the greatest piece of fiction of all time.
Yeah, I can't blame them. If you're going to steal, you may as well steal from the best.
I do remember that door part of that mission pissed me off so much because I could never figure out which was the right door.
Is it the thug who's in the mirrors at top? You've got to go on the one he's standing over.
But then for some reason it just keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah.
I was like, is this just by chance or am I just stupid? Probably stupid, but it just never really worked out. And then they do that classic reverse batarang to the back of Mad Hatter's head.
Mate. And we took out Raz in City again, reused that animation, save the budget.
Even Mad Hatter and Alice were moving the exact same way as Ray Talia.
Yeah.
They really anytime they could reuse an asset, they reused it. They put nothing to waste.
Literally, most of the map is just what would become Arkham City. You even go into Wonder Tower, which is where Stranger's last stand is.
Yeah, I the one cool thing for me was exploring what is Arkham City, but before everything went to shit.
Oh, it was great. I loved having a Batman game where you were in Gotham, as good as City and Asylum were. I always wanted to just be Batman in Gotham, and this game gave us that.
Was any parts? Obviously, you couldn't go to certain areas, but it's not. Was it it got blocked off still? Did police barricade certain areas, or was it because of the blizzard? Wasn't it there's a huge snowstorm?
Yeah, that's the reason there's no civilians out, but all the thugs are out because there's a big snowstorm coming in. So the entire city, but the criminal elements.
It is just if there was going to be an Arkham game to have civilians, it would not be Origins.
You wouldn't want to be, would you, with the amount of shit going on, mate? But they've even got criminals operating in the middle.
Or the crimes? Did you mean the crimes in progress?
Hello?
What happened?
Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay.
Oh, God. Was that fucking Micah Sin?
It's Batman. The cryptographic sequences.
We can just cut it.
No, I'll leave it. It was only a second.
Make it look flawless.
It's just cut to us freaking out.
Were you talking about the crimes in progress?
No, during the main story, when you're looking for where Penguin is, and you find a bunch of his goons, and one of them's got a Santa hat on.
Oh yeah, I love that one. I love that mission.
That is literally bang in the middle of Gotham's primary shopping district.
It was pretty cool. It's the cutscene's really cool. The way when you finally finish bashing everyone. Yeah. And he throws the guy and then kicks him off, and the chair goes flying. He just leaps on top of him. And then
the one right before where he's on the gargoyle and he's if Penguin's goons are here, I'll make them talk. and he's like, you
And
see
then
his eyes are white.
I'm pretty sure you can use different costumes in that as well.
Oh, I love when they do that. And
Yeah,
it
because I
goes into
usually
the
I did
cutscene.
the long Halloween suit for most of my runs. I'd use that one.
Yeah.
It felt most like a comic book when I used that suit in particular.
Nice.
Plus the long ears is I love when Batman has long ears. I don't like the short ones.
Oh no, he's not Daredevil. Give him like the good friggin' ears.
Yeah, I think like Asylum had it pretty good. Origins played it safe. Did you like the overall look of the suit? I thought it was a bit. I don't know if it was too bulky because I thought earlier on Batman might have worn something a bit more thinner.
You know what? He looks a bit. I've googled it. He looks a bit shredded, definitely, like cartoonishly buff. But you
He's
can't
massive.
go wrong
Yeah,
with the blue cowl and trunks and the grey.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
his
and the
prime
bright
look,
yellow
mate.
belt.
Yeah. Like, I don't care if you'd see him in the shadows. That looks sick. Arkham City had, like, I think it's the 70s. Is it Denny O'Neil?
Yeah, City and Night had the classic light blue, yellow oval, white eyes. You know,
Yeah. Is it Neil
bat
Adams?
suit.
Oh, it's both of them.
Yeah,
I've typed in
the Neil
Denny
Adams.
O'Neil bat suit, and the one that comes up where it's blue instead of black, that's Batman to me, mate. That looks
Yeah, I
sick.
always
That's my favourite look.
it when you use the suits, I feel like it can give it a bit of new life to the game.
Yeah.
Overall, they did have pretty good suits, and there was even like one costume I didn't even realize was in the game until like this year. It was like that was the 1 million suit.
Oh, yeah.
I had no clue that was in the game. I just don't like how some suits were just a pain in the ass to get. Like in the Injustice one, didn't you need to do something to get the Injustice suits?
I'm trying to
I
remember.
couldn't remember if it was like a challenge map or you actually had to get the game of Injustice, but it was
Oh,
some
yeah, like,
tedious thing.
you gotta like 100% the challenges, don't you? Not just play it. You've got to like do all the sub
Yeah, it's like in Arkham
categories.
Knight, you had to complete everything to get the same Batsuit but with a gold logo,
Oh yeah, it was
and
shit. Never
you
wore
can't
it.
even use it in any story.
Yeah, because then
It's
you're
just
done with
for
it.
free. Yeah, there's not even like a side story with Bruce that you can like replay in the DLC section. There's nothing.
Yeah,
But even
garbage,
I
mate.
mean,
But
the DLC was interesting because it was still just like what's it called? The combat tours for Arkham Origins.
yeah, like
Like they
initiation
had
and that.
yeah, it was just like challenge maps. That's all it
Yeah,
was.
bit
There
lazy
was
in
no
it.
real depth.
But to be fair, when they did do a full DLC with Cold Heart, knocked it out the park,
That's
mate.
I love
I
the
oh
just the start when you're Bruce Wayne and you have to go through Wayne Manor.
yeah, kick some ass because Freeze's thugs are messing with your
Even
house.
Alfred, doesn't Alfred knock someone out?
He does with like a tray. You go through the
At the
door
very start.
and they're like, hold it, rich boy, and then Alfred comes up behind the metal tray for his teammates.
Yeah, because Alfred's the true Robin. It doesn't get better than Alfredo. I
I
will
was gonna say
say
something. Go on.
when it comes
I
to
remember what I was gonna say.
the story of Arkham Origins,
Yeah.
I feel like obviously the Joker is probably the best part, but I just really do wish that Black Mask had just do something. All he did
Like,
was he got kidnapped and then he got almost or then Batman tortures him after he's been tortured.
yeah.
And then you have a shitty side quest where it's just bash him
He's
in the
not even
church.
wearing the mask in the side quest.
It's,
He's like Roman Sionis.
yeah, you literally fight Roman. It's stupid. Even there was Bird. Remember Bird?
Bird from mate, from Nightfall.
He was just like it was just a Bane thug, but looked different, and that was it.
Yeah. That was
I
literally.
think I do like the one where you do like a short like little case, and then you go find the person who did it. And then there was one where I'm pretty sure he either knew the guy that killed the people or he knew the people, like maybe both.
Was it Lady
And then
Shiva?
Batman was like, no, like this guy was just a cop. I don't know what he was, but he killed this couple, and Batman knew either the couple or he knew the killer. And he's furious when he catches them. And even like he's about to strangle the guy, and Alfred comes in on the mic and he's like, Master Bruce, your heartbeat is raising quite fast. And he's like full on about to kill him until Alfred calms him down.
There's a sick bit again in Cold Heart, where at first Batman's like, it's sick, someone will target Ferris Boyle. He's done nothing but good for Gotham. I'll see this one wheeled into Blackgate on a gurney. And then when he finds out that Ferris is like more of a villain than Mr. Freeze, Alfred's like, do you still want that gurney, Master Bruce? And he goes, I do, but not for Freeze.
Sick, yeah, because Roger Craig Smith has the best pissed off Batman voice.
Yeah.
You know, do you remember that one? There's this one thing you can get with a thug when you interrogate them. And he's choking him, and the thug goes, jingle bells, Batman smells. And then he goes, no. And then he just fucking knocks him out.
Yeah, mate.
I can't believe they put that in the game.
The Batman. I love the start of the Deathstroke fight as well. It's like, it appears the game is over before it begins. And he's like, I'm not playing games.
Yeah, and then after you defeat him, like, Penguin's about to get laid with these two women. He's like, oh, shut off, Batman.
Get out of my own, Batman. And that's it for Penguin for the whole story. Anarchy. I was like, why is he in this game, man? He's just setting bombs around Gotham ready to piss me off.
Leave it for the bomb squad. Yeah, from now on, I am the bomb squad. I thought, like, I mean, he just does sound like a whiny kid on Twitter after a while.
Yeah. He was more annoying.
But it was appreciated. And you saw the courthouse. That was the excuse to go to the courthouse.
Because they already had the assets for the courthouse. Yeah.
So they might as well use this one.
We got the model from the Two-Face bit of City, boss. What do we do? Oh.
Fucking throws in the most useless character in the whole game. There was Firefly as well.
That bit's sick, mate. That boss fight on the bridge.
They did get really creative, especially when you have to dodge the flames as you're attached to him, and you have to dodge everything, and then just bash his face in. Batman bashes a burnt victim.
You need a new hobby. Sick. He had some good lines in this one. Even like when he one bombs Electrocutioner and he like turns to Penguin's goons and goes, "Who wants to tell me where Penguin is?" Like, you know, they're shit scared of him, and Batman knows it.
And then was it the Tracy and what the fuck her other name was? Oh, and the British woman. Go get him, loves.
This one's proper naughty. Shut up.
They literally just went on ChatGPT and put British person. All right.
Where the hell are they during the events of Arkham Asylum and City? Eh? One looks like Shedder from Resident Evil 5.
What about that one time when Alfred was saying to try to keep a low profile on Christmas Eve because if some kid looked out to see Batman pattering across their rooftop, they'll expect Santa Claus. And then Bruce goes, "I don't patter."
Boss babe. Love the banter between them two, you know.
I even like that awkward "I'm sorry" moment after their big fight.
Yeah.
I even like the way they depicted him and Gordon slowly building a partnership.
Yeah, because at the start of the game, Gordon, he tells people there's no Batman, but he must know. And then he does nearly capture him a few times, doesn't he? Until Firefly, where they have to team up to save the bridge.
Yeah, because even in the prison, you team up with Gordon as well and fight your way through all these guards.
Yeah, like in gameplay, you team up with. It's not just cutscene. So that was interesting.
Yeah, because even like when you have to try to sneak by him, like you mentioned on the bridge, and then he's like, he tells him that he's on his side, and even if wasn't it if the police let him helped out sooner, or if they weren't so against Batman, he would have saved the bridge from exploding.
Yeah, if they'd have worked together, if he would have given Batman the code to the door, Batman could have stopped Firefly before all the bridge got burned to shit.
Unfortunately, they had to extend the runtime. So even I didn't like they brought back that shitty part of City when you have to try to find those. Was it the signal scrammer?
Yeah,
you have to find those things and punch the screen.
Yeah,
they have to punch the screen so your cryptographic sequencer can work again. I couldn't stand those levels, and I hate whenever I have to do them in City and Origins.
That bit in City is literally just there to drag out the game. That bit
because
takes most of the game.
It halts the pacing.
Yes,
so
the whole
badly.
plot just becomes we need to hold them off for an hour because it does take a friggin' hour going to all three different generators.
You go from like the rooftop of the museum to a rooftop close by, then to the underground sewers or the train,
into
the subway,
mate. Just
near where Ra's al Ghul's hanging out or something.
Yeah, we don't find out till later what you would say.
Did you think it was weird how like Killer Croc looks so different?
Yeah, but then I remembered how he looks in Night, and I thought, you know what?
He got mutated. Yeah, that was because of the prison.
Because Iron Heights were experimenting on it. That's why he's more crocodile in Night, and he's got a tail, which is always stupid because he's not the lizard. But
he's a crocodile.
In Origins, I can see I think it's set 8 years before Asylum, so I understand
it changes a lot.
His genetic mutation will have progressed, but he is
I do
very different.
When when you beat him in the fight and he's interrogating him, he's like, "You want teeth? I want answers." He just starts fucking pounding his face.
And then he's not in it for the rest of the game until the very end when he escapes Blackgate, and that's it.
You never see him again.
You never see Killer Croc again.
Honestly, I feel like there could have been a lot more Arkham Origins. I would have loved to have seen Batman and Ra's al Ghul's first meeting.
You know what? There's a Sonic game, Sonic Generations, and I remember thinking, why did they ever bother making any more Sonic games instead of just giving DLC for this? Because people fucking loved it. And I think the same about Origins. All we got this, which is first time fighting Joker and that. We got Cold Heart, which is his first time fighting Mr. Freeze. Why didn't they keep making DLCs where you see his first fights with Ra's al Ghul or Scarecrow or basically anyone?
Even they could have done that whole from the 70s book when he goes to the desert and he's the chest hair Batman fights the Ra's al Ghul with the swords.
Yeah,
they could have recreated that as a whole mission for if they ever did that game, and it would have been so cool to see.
I don't know why they only made one big DLC when they could have easily kept pumping them out. People love them.
Now they did Suicide Squad, which is why.
Which then they did the whole series.
Well, now they're going to do Shadow World, which it's basically what we were asking for. It's a prequel, but then you make it so it's only for the VR, a specific VR headset. So we can't even play that. It's so stupid. It's just it's baffling to me.
Yeah.
Did you like the dilemma of Joker wanting Batman to kill Bane?
Oh, it was very interesting, wasn't it? The way it shook out.
Yeah, and then he sees the heartbeat, and then Joker's like, "That's not funny."
Yeah, but again, where he does the electrocution, he kills Bane technically. Fulfills Joker's condition because Joker wants Batman to kill someone, didn't he? So it's either Batman dies, Bane dies, or Joker. He just legs it, yeah.
Even the way he runs as well, he's all over the place.
The motion capture was very good, and in that cutscene where he reveals that he's the Joker, and he shoots around electrocutioner twice, and then he lets off another one. It looks like he does it accidentally. He's pissing himself laughing that he just nearly blew his own foot off. He is goofy as hell, the Joker in this.
Yeah, the cutscenes were good, but the in-game graphics were painfully worse than City.
Well, yeah,
Like the lip syncing was shocking.
it was very
It's
glitchy.
like it's almost like their lips were just moving, but to just randomly. There was no sort of attempt at making them look like they were speaking. It's not as bad as the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it's still pretty bad. In TASM 2, there was moments where they were talking, but their lips weren't even moving. It's just
That's why everyone should have a full face mask. Just don't buy it.
It's like Todd McFarlane drawing a face instead of a mask. I think why you don't just give up.
Spider-Man PS1 had better lip sync.
Bro, I love that one part where he's in the Batwing. He's like, Alfred, Alfred, and then Bane's like, I'm in your house, Bruce.
Oh, yeah, mate. Fantastic Bane. They made up for the shit one in City. This is the best Bane's ever been.
Yeah. It's probably the only proper adaptation of Bane they've done.
Yeah.
That's another thing they could do. They could go into Nightfall, into like a whole game of Nightfall.
Batman's already fought
Have
Bane
Robin?
before this story, haven't they? Because he says when he comes up, he's like, oh shit, Bane's in Gotham. And Bane's referencing fighting him before. We could see that first, like, showdown.
Well, from
take you out of Gotham to Santa Francisco or whatever it's called.
Well, in Night, they already have the gameplay for, like, him fighting with Robin.
Yeah.
Just take that, put it into a Nightfall game, and have them fight all these villains.
Ooh.
Have it set, like, right after the death of Jason or something.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. It could be sick, but they just don't do it.
No, they just don't want to. That's what I mean. They do Cold Heart and basically remake Heart of Ice from the animated series, which was already fantastic, but let you play it and expand on it. And then they just stop after that.
Even they clearly just cared it. Like, that franchise to me just shows their main concern was Joker and Batman, because that part of the games is just incredible. Like, I love, like we were saying, I love just when he saves Joker, and that's like the sort of beginning of the infatuation between the two, or between Joker and his clear admiration for Batman.
Yeah.
And then the whole scene where he's with Harley Quinn, she thinks that he's talking about her. In reality, he could not care less.
Yeah, mate, where you play as Joker going through, like, his mind.
That was cool.
And he's talking about how Batman's affected him tonight. Because he's wondering how someone like Batman could save someone as, like, vile as the Joker.
And she still thinks it's about her?
Yeah. Even though we've already heard mad love in the Arkham Asylum interview tapes. And this is not how it shook out. But okay.
Really,
do you want to talk about plot holes?
There's a lot. But I do like, I do think it's funny at the end, during the prison break, or the prison break-in, I should say, with Joker.
Yeah.
Like, Harley's borderline pissed, because I think that's when she realizes that he wants Batman.
Yeah. She's blaming Batman. Batman saves her from these thugs. But she's like, this is all your fault, you know.
Occupational hazard.
Yeah.
Even, like, you can just tell she's so upset by the fact that he wants Batman.
Yeah, she's realized, hasn't she?
Yeah, because he's looking for you, by the way. He's in the church area. That fight scene was
still comes
so cool.
Yeah, the big, like, just beat down at the end.
The brain damage he would have suffered is mental. He should, even when he's like, after all those punches, he's like, come on, beat me till your knuckles bleed. It's like, he wouldn't even be able to speak.
Yeah. Catatonic after that, mate.
In the cutscene, there was not even a single bruise on his face. It's like watching Daredevil all over again, where, like, all this fight scene and not one person loses a teeth. I mean, where do we even start with the plot holes? There's this.
There's the Bane not being Rhino, basically, in Arkham Asylum.
Well, was that more because of Titan?
Yeah. Apparently, Titan's been there the whole time, and it wasn't just Joker's plot in Asylum. I thought that was a bit dodgy, because it like makes the whole story revolve around Titan, which doesn't even turn up in Arkham Knight, which I thought was funny. Not a single Titan goon in Arkham Knight.
Didn't in City? Didn't we blow up the last remaining Titan containers?
So they say, but you'd think like as soon as the game series has had Titan monsters the whole time, you'd think you'd have one, or like maybe a fear hallucination could have been a Titan boss.
Fear hallucinations. I can't even think of that anymore. The same after Suicide Squad. Like,
oh yeah, well,
all I can think about is like, yeah, a giant fear Batman getting shot to death while standing in place. Like, what the fuck is he doing in real life? Is he just standing there?
Batman's got the grapnel boost, even though in City, Lucius warns him it's just a prototype. Lucius, it's been a prototype for 10 years. I think it's ready.
I'm pretty sure even just how long he's been Batman. And then how long, Jim Gordon's age. In Origins, he looks like a solid, maybe I'd say maybe late 30s, 40s. And then in Asylum, he looks like he's ready to retire.
Yeah.
In City, he's the same. And then in Night, he's like de-aged.
Yeah, he's barely in City and Asylum, is he? Like, you save him from Harley Quinn, you put him on the boat.
Yeah,
and then he's captured again.
He comes at the end afterwards when he's like,
yeah,
and they all arrest
tied
everyone.
To the chair. Joker ties him to the chair, didn't he, for the scrap? And yeah, he's at the very end of City, and that's it.
And the DLC, you can go talk to him before you like go piss off to the.
But even then, it's only at the very start and the very end, isn't it? Batman tells him he'll go and sort Harley Quinn, and then at the very end, Jim's like, "Okay, you sorted Harley Quinn, well done."
But even, you know what I do like in Origins? It's during the credits. You know how they usually have something in the credits of just someone saying something?
Yeah. Or Joker singing Only You.
That's a classic. But this one was like, I don't know if it was a radio show, and they set up Arkham City, or not Arkham Asylum, sorry.
Yeah, they're going to reopen it, because now everyone's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was just, it was a cool like thing to add.
Yeah.
It was just like, I thrive off that shit.
I love them references. It was like there is no asylum, or they're on about reopening it, aren't they? Because it's been shut for years. You do have the Arkham wing of Blackgate where the more loony ones go, but they decide there's too many psychos now.
Sharp was like, "Yeah, we need to reopen this." It's like,
he's like,
if any night has proven it was this night.
Do you reckon he was already getting manipulated by Strange at that point? Because when you look into like his background, he was already very meek. I reckon Strange has been in his head the whole time.
He's been pretty useless throughout his time.
Yeah, he's shit. But
if you look at him as like an actual, even just someone in charge, he does nothing.
Yeah, just gets captured in Asylum. Captured again in City.
No one really killed him.
Yeah, he's killed off screen in the Gotham City stories. Yeah, of night he sees a hallucination of Hugo Strange who tells him, "Kill yourself," and he does. But again, in the City comics step before, Batman's investigating why Mayor Sharp wants to open Arkham City so badly, and he sees he's from a military family, but he himself was shit in the military. Like they didn't want him or they kicked him out.
Yeah,
and then when he started seeing Hugo Strange as a psychiatrist, Strange starts pulling the strings and making him worthy enough to be warden of Asylum.
I just thought of another thing that Origins did that really damages a character.
Ooh.
What they did with Bane at the end.
Yeah,
they made him give him
brain damage.
Yeah, he couldn't even remember who Batman was. He could barely form a sentence. His brain was fried.
Yeah,
And then you're telling me that Nightfall takes place after this?
Unless he comes back at some point and then loses his mind again. I like how after the boss fight, Batman gets on the phone and he's like, Alfred, I've done it. I have defeated Bane. And then Bane's stands back up straight away. You're like, why are you tempting fate saying shit like that, Batman?
Oh, but that's his Batman's ribs would have been caved so far into his body, it'd be sticking out his back. When you near the end of that Bane mission, that fight, when he full on punches you with his full power,
into that
the
wall.
wall, he punches a solid few times into your stomach.
The tile gets shattered behind you, and Batman stands right back up. What?
That whole mission was pretty. I always found it really intense. Just this giant Bane. Yeah, as a kid, that freaked me out. Just the tension of just him walking by, and then when your detective vision goes out, and you have no idea where he is.
Yeah. It's just watching the shadows shitting yourself.
When he walks by and then thud, thud, thud. Or when you try to do a takedown and it doesn't work and he just looks at you and rips you out of the grate and throws you against the wall.
Oh.
The combat was pretty refined, and I did think they did put enough to make it different.
Yeah.
And I still
there was
think
new enemy types, weren't there? You had
the ninjas Venom. That never came back again.
Oh yeah, they kicked them martial artists kicked my ass so many times. And then you had Bane thugs who'd use Venom and charge you.
They were all cool because they actually looked like Bane more than Bane did.
Why can't I see his mouth through his luchador mask? I don't like that.
They
give him
they do that all the time.
Yeah. Bane, that's what I was going to say before. Bane in Asylum is more like Batman and Robin Bane, where he's just a big brute. He's more like the Rhino in Spider-Man games, just jump out his way and punch him while his back's turned. But this Bane being hard to fight and a master planner, this is as we said before, top tier Bane. This is how he should be portrayed.
Yeah, it's the Chuck Dixon Bane.
Yeah, this is Nightfall Bane, this one.
And even, they demonstrated perfectly that he is pretty much, he's going to kick your ass. You stand barely any chance against Bane, even before he turns into that disgusting monster that vomits venom out.
Yeah, Batman's scared of him, isn't he? When he sees the assassins at the start, he's like, it's Deadshot. Okay, who else have we got? This one's called Firefly, and he's like, oh, Bane is in Gotham. Shit.
Yeah, and Alfred, little did he know what's going to happen to that poor guy. Yeah. I did like in the Batcave, you could explore it, and just having it as a thing.
Yeah, where was that in Night? I'd love to have went back to the Batcave.
You could find the Batmobile in progress being made.
Yeah.
Until Bane destroys it, the bastard. How dare he destroy the Batmobile?
He traps Alfred under it, doesn't he?
Yeah, you have to remove the wheels. Somehow he survived all of that, and he's he's an elderly man.
He's hardcore Alfred, mate.
Oh yeah, he kicks Superman's ass in that one comic.
Superman certainly did.
There is that one, how you can just talk to Alfred?
Yeah.
There's this one conversation that can go on about a giant king bat in the cave that freaks him out. And then at the end of it, it's I believe,
yeah.
We've come to an understanding between the two of us.
I remember thinking it was Man-Bat he was on about.
Yeah, I was going to say, people thought it was Man-Bat. Could you imagine if Kirk Langstrom's just chilling there?
Yeah. Why does this one look like a human?
A Man-Bat, you might say. And then you got fucking Mr. Fantastic comes through. Say that again.
Best boss fights in the series, this game too, dude.
But they even got rid of so much shit. A lot of the mechanics in a boss fight is gone. And when it comes to stuff I was gonna say, the online mode, if you remember that.
Briefly before I got shut down, mate.
Yeah, you could. I mean, it was just a shooter,
Yeah.
And you could be a Bane or a Joker thug, or you could be Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
And
maybe
you could actually
Robin.
play as Robin.
No way. And it was
And
Dick, wasn't it?
introduced, yeah, and they introduced like actual costumes for Dick as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It was like a weird. It looked a bit like it had been like a Nolan film.
Yeah, in a way, but it was just like I think they might have had additional suits for Robin. I just can't remember exactly.
Yeah, there was like classic, and you could play as Tim Drake's Robin from City when he looked
But it was
actually
cool
cool.
when like waiting, and then you finally see like you are the Batman or you are Robin.
Ooh.
Even like when you became Joker or Bane, it was cool as fuck to play as them. It was like that takes a lot of effort, and obviously, it's dead. But
Yeah.
I wish they sort of did that again.
Yeah,
I would have
because there was
rather
that was
Suicide
brand
Squad.
new. Oh god.
If
Yeah.
if Suicide Squad was just that, but like remastered, I would have paid $100 for it at that point.
As you say, like they did lift a lot from City, but that's brand new.
Yeah, they had to actually implement a full-on like shooting mechanic.
Yeah.
It's class, and
Yeah,
it was
mate.
just fun to play. But there was more that they took away, and I also thought it was interesting that it was the only Arkham game that lets you change your stupid costume without having to exit the entire thing. You
Yeah.
just go to the Batcave and change. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Night
Because
nearly had it, didn't they? It was
well,
going
like
to
in
have
Night, you got to.
stuff in Wayne Enterprises, but they got rid of it.
Yeah, it's so stupid because I hate having to go out of the entire thing just to change my suit.
Yeah.
But there was something slipped my mind, but it was something they removed from Origins, which made no sense, and I'm just trying to like claw it back.
We'll loop back around just in case. But what did you think of the boss fights? I know some of them were just, reskins. Like Deathstroke was just Ra's al Ghul again, really. What?
I mean, in ways, they also added like in when you had to
Yeah.
like deflect his staff and sword, that was straight just the Ra's al Ghul fight.
Yeah.
But then when it was actually like the combat section, it was pretty. You only saw it in that game, and for only that fight.
Yeah.
Where you could actually your own punches could turn against you because he could counter you, and it was
Yeah,
like you had to be prepared. You had to be prepared
that
to
was what
counter
the
back.
Arkham Knight boss fight should have been, mate, instead of just another Predator room.
Yeah, it would have been so much better. And like he actually used his weapons against you, which was cool.
Yeah,
He
he
used
had
his
his own
staff, his
gadgets, he
sword.
had his own techniques.
He
And
used
you
the
can't
smoke
just
bombs
rush
as
in.
well.
Yeah.
And even just like I like the fury in his face when he breaks his mask. That would have
It's
killed for
pissed.
Deathstroke. His whole mask just like turns to dust from one punch. I don't
What
think
was your
people
favourite?
understand how strong he is.
Literally, he's like Captain America Deathstroke, isn't he? Captain America
But
with a
even like
healing
Batman in
factor.
the Arkham games, he's just a beast.
Yeah, there's no stopping him. He's inhuman.
To rip a grate off the side of a wall and like the bolts forcibly flying off. No one can do that.
In Night, he fucking grabs, like the electrical switches and the wires and that. You can see the lock on it, the thick lock on it. He grabs it with one hand and just casually rips it open like a friggin' yogurt lid or something. You're like, what is this man on?
He does one thing that Mike Murdoch could never do. Find the right cables to fuse together. Mike Murdoch would have got stuck at like the first level in Night because he just couldn't doesn't know which one to use.
He's got the cryptographic sequencer and he's just like, he can't see where the button's going. What would you say is your favourite bit of the whole game then? Of Arkham Origins?
Okay, let's see. There's a lot. I do think just the Joker is fucking class.
Yeah.
I think whether it's his is the way he's written, or the boss fight at the end, or just playing as the Joker. Just even the sheer chaos he causes, like that one scene where you're hallucinating from was it the
Copperhead.
Joker toxin? Oh, yeah, the poison. Sorry.
Yeah.
But even you see that woman that Joker killed.
Oh,
she's like
as
randomly in the elevator.
Yeah, like her head twists back into place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his chaos somehow infected every aspect of the game. Whether it was something as simple as him being poisoned by Copperhead, or it's the people he killed. It's just, I think
he's getting to Batman, isn't he, the whole time? Batman's never faced like this type of lunacy. He says himself during the game that he's beat like thugs and criminals before, but this is a next level shit going on.
I think they really nailed it, and I don't think we're ever going to see something quite as good as it. What would you say is your favorite part then? Mine's just going to be the Joker.
In a similar bit, you're infiltrating the Gotham Royal Hotel, and the Joker has basically changed the entire layout of the hotel into a big circus full of death traps. And it's a bit like you're like at the fair, like you play, you have to hit some targets with batarangs, but it's like balloons. You have to hit them in the right order, and he's like playing a game with you. But he's narrating the whole way.
The bomb as well, where it's like Happy New Year's, and then he like as you're trying to like defuse it, he sets it to like 10 seconds and you have to jump out the window.
Opening your presents early, aren't we, Batman? I love the bit where like you break into a window, and Joker's he's on all the telly screens. He's set up like an asylum where he's on the intercom, and he goes, "Batman, quick! Someone's about to get shot!" And as you run around the corner, it's you. You get shot by his turret, and he's like, "Oh, I told you." Tried to warn him.
Honestly, he's probably the funniest in that game.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Like
the rest really compare, because in City he was just more he was just dying.
Yeah, he's more coughing than laughing in City.
Yeah, every joke was basically relating to the fact he's dying. In Asylum, he had a few funny moments.
Yeah.
And then in Night, he was just an annoying hallucination.
In Night, Batman never like speaks back to him except for the very end. So it's kind of just like Joker's just like annoying him.
There was that one time where he's like, in the afterlife, I banged Talia.
He says something like that, doesn't he? And
he's like, one thing led to another, and then just, you know. It's like, what the
or when that Johnny Charisma's about to like sing a Batman, it's like, oh no, you don't. No one serenades you but me. But the only time when I was going through Night again for this very podcast, the only time Batman even lets on that Joker's there, other than at the end where he talks to him. Yeah, when Scarecrow gasses you again on the Stag airship, Batman like stands back up and he's like stares at the hallucination before turning back to Scarecrow. Other than that, he never once speaks to Joker. So it's kind of like Joker's just there.
He got to losing it because he actually like Joker took control for that brief moment.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm amazing. This body is like you should never. I would have just rathered if Kevin Conroy said that and not Mark Hamill because it just looks so wrong.
Sounds so strange coming out of.
It would have been way more creepy if like Kevin actually tried to do a happy voice.
Yeah, I never heard you laugh before. I don't like it. What's the matter? I thought the Joker always wanted to make Batman laugh. You're not Batman.
Even in the kids show, like Justice League Action, when he just starts laughing, and that was like is the only like interrogation tactic was him laughing or something. I mean, like
there's a comic at one point where Robin's like fuming about Batman not like treating him with enough respect, and he references like Batman makes a joke at like I think it's at the Joker about putting him back in prison. And then Robin's like, and he's having banter with these lunatics. He won't look at me, but he's joking around with these little psychos.
Yes, Bella. You can tell he slowly warms up to the joke, to the Joker.
Yeah, by the end, he was like, you know what? He was pretty funny. Do you want to know what's really funny? You!
All this time. That actually is pretty funny.
That happens at the end of this game too, didn't it? Because when he's like, Bane's still alive. That's
when he's getting like, he's on the thing. He's getting taken away.
And
he's like, stopped his heartbeat. Good one, Bats.
Did you ever play the PSP one, mate? What was it, like Blackgate Breakout or something?
I never did, but I've only heard that it's like the worst thing besides Suicide Squad.
Pretty shit, but it's got his first like meeting with Catwoman.
Yeah, it introduces Selena. I almost said Felicia, to be honest. And reading so much Spider-Man.
Nice.
I would have been called a fake fan. Be gone.
Oh god. But even then, it's set like this is Christmas Eve, Arkham Origins. Cold Heart is New Year's Eve, so that's a few days later. And then Blackgate Breakout again is just a few days later. So within this 2-week period, Batman has met all of his villains within this 2 weeks. He's been fighting Black Mask for a year, okay. But, in that Spider-Man game from 20-whatever, the PS4 one, where he's not fought Doc Ock and the Goblin, but he has fought the Kingpin for 8 years.
He still hasn't fought Goblin?
He still hasn't fought a Goblin, and he's probably going to die doing it in the end, knowing Insomniac.
Oh, yeah, and then, Silk and Miles take over.
One fight with his ultimate enemy, and that's it.
Yeah, they're going to butcher it somehow. But even, it makes Blackgate look so incredibly pointless. If there's this many even with Asylum, how is there this many breakouts?
This is one night, and there's a big bust. A crime lord invades Blackgate at the start of the game. They somehow get back control within them 8 hours, and then at the end, a different crime lord stages a mass breakout. So this is one night for Blackgate. There's Commissioner Loeb, he dies. Commissioner Warden, or whatever his name is. No, Warden Joseph. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the guy that's voiced by Cyborg. Cyborg?
Is he? Carrie Payton doesn't. He's
I think he is.
He loses his eye at the start from Black Mask, who was actually the Joker. And then at the end of the game, he gets shot by the Joker. But this was one night while Batman's went and done all this. So twice in one night, Blackgate's been destroyed.
So do you think people of Gotham in the Arkham universe just wonder why does everything happen in the space of 12 hours?
Yeah, definitely. I would move to Central City.
But at least here it just lasts for it, and I can just go to sleep and it'll be over.
Yeah, mate. Well, that's what Alfred suggests, didn't he? Alfred's like, well, if they've only got 24 hours to kill you, why don't you just stay home? He's like, I can't. Yeah. Because they'll start attacking the innocents.
It's well, they're never out anyway, Batman. Who are they going to attack? It'll be like that scene in SpongeBob where the police start attacking the post or something. If anything, Joker would just start killing the assassins if he could.
He does. He gets more kills than Buddy. Gets more takedowns than Batman.
Instead of the innocents, if he stayed inside, Joker would say, "Oh, this is pointless," and he just shoots all of them.
Where are all the civilians, mate? As I say, Joker's took over a hotel, and the only people he's got trapped are Black Mask dudes.
So it's unless all of them are in their rooms and they're just dead,
just don't come out. Yeah,
It would have been nice though, because you're right, it is a hotel and it is Gotham City on Christmas Eve. It would have been nice if some of the hostages were just civilians.
Yeah. You see civilians. You see Vicky Vale. And you see...
Oh, yeah, at the start?
A few policemen in Cold Heart have been frozen solid. But otherwise, there's literally no alive that's a civilian out on the streets. They're all either dead or hostage.
Well, even when Joker blows up, was it the orphanage and the other buildings?
Yeah.
So they're clearly all there. They just refuse to leave. You're telling me on Christmas Eve in an American city that's so populated that people aren't going to be doing last-minute shopping?
And for the time frame of the game, this is like 8 hours, isn't it? So
yeah, I think
he must
it
start.
even goes into Christmas.
Yeah, you're right. Because halfway through, Alfred says, doesn't he? He goes, "Just want to tell you, it's just rolled into Christmas." So
He's like, "Merry Christmas."
So Batman must
Batman's
start about like 7 at night to get it all fit in, and that's being generous. The shops are still open at 7 at night. Yeah, it's still dark.
Even when he finishes everything, it's still dark.
Yeah, it's that one night. Meaning it must have been about 8 hours.
Not even a hint of morning. It's still like the moon is still as prominent as before.
Yeah.
But you were right before. It does feel like the only Arkham game that truly makes you like so immersed. We like I'm Batman surveilling the streets of Gotham.
Yeah, it does give the bullshit reason for no civilians, but you're still in Gotham. You're not trapped in a prison facility like in Asylum and City.
And I still thought it looked really nice with the snow and all the lights and the overall aesthetic of the game.
Something about Batman and Christmas, mate, just fits. Like, Batman Returns is probably my favourite Batman film, and that's Christmas, isn't it? Christmas with the Joker. It
depends, because it's never easy with the Joker. But is it because, like, usually sometimes his parents are killed on Christmas as well, in some incarnations of the Batman?
I think it's because Christmas is such a time for family that it's more noticeable that he's gotten none. So it's something like it's always
a good contrast.
Yeah, Batman out at Christmas time just goes well together.
Yeah, because you got this like it's a jolly time, and you got the most depressed.
Yeah, the grim Avenger of the night, mate.
Yeah, and then everyone's just fucking. He wants to just bash everyone. Everyone wants to celebrate. I do appreciate it kept up like the whole what's it called? Like the crime alley part. You can still go there and visit.
Yeah.
I thought that was
City as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, even the same roses. I'm pretty sure.
So when the Waynes get murdered all them years ago, less than a mile underground, there's a Lazarus pit. Because it's Monarch Theatre, isn't it?
The whole time they could have just dumped them there.
just dig little Bruce. We'll get to in City. The Lazarus pit's under Wonder Tower because the lightning bolt hits Wonder Tower and goes down into Ra's al Ghul, doesn't it? But then suddenly at the end, the Lazarus pit's underneath the Monarch Theatre. What's that about? Does it move?
I
Plot
never
hole in Arkham City.
The Lazarus pit doesn't just stop at humans; it starts with the buildings. So the buildings have a mind of their own.
Batman gets knocked out at the end with the cure in his left hand.
Oh yeah, it swaps
in his right.
And plus, like, you're telling me that Joker licking it off the ground would not do anything?
I know, yeah. Batman only took like a quick swig and he got cured immediately. How is Batman dying straight away from Joker's blood while Joker's lasted 15 months? I know he's immune to toxin.
There's too many plot holes. That's not funny.
How the hell does Joker's blood turn other people into Jokers when he's just a normal man?
The best part was of City was it just didn't. It was more just poison.
Yeah.
And then Night was like, no, fuck that.
Yeah. And Henry Adams looked just like the Joker before he was infected with Joker blood. Don't get me started. We'll get to Night eventually.
He was always destined. He was destined for it.
He just looks like old Joker.
Harley was pretty weird during that whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Harley's dog shit anyway, mate.
Did you like Barbara's small appearance?
It was weird seeing her stood up. There was
As in
not.
what?
No, she's annoying. I'm glad she was gone. I was joking about her standing up, but I think it's so annoying when every 2 minutes in Asylum, Oracle, where should I go next? Let me pull up the schematics. You should go left. It's annoying. Having Alfred on your phone, I think City as well, gets crap when all of a sudden Oracle's like, okay, I'm here. Because the start of City, where it's just Batman and Alfred throwing out, fighting crime, mate. It's that. I think it makes Batman too overpowered that he's got this all-knowing, omniscient hacker on his team.
Brother, right? Yeah. But even that's another thing. Just we could add to the best parts of this game, or like the favorite parts, has to be Alfred.
Yeah,
he is one of the most enjoyable aspects. But there's just whether it's talking to him and you get like 20,000 XP for Alfred's wisdom. It's like okay. Or, the whole Master Bruce, please. And then, stops him. He's like, what are you? You're not some hardened vigilante. So fucking
even
good.
Just like, they call him electrocutioner. Shocking. Go ahead, Alex. He's like got banter for every villain, mate, yeah.
It's like...
I don't mind there being a Robin, but I do mind Oracle because she just makes it too easy for him. She just tells Batman, oh, you can do this. And Batman goes, good idea, I'll do that. It's like Batman's just following her lead.
There was one thing about Barbara in the game I really did like.
Go ahead.
It was a quote. She sets up like such a good quote for Batman because she's like, like, why do you do all this? And he just like, I made a promise. And he walks away. Like it was just so in the moment, mate. It was cold.
I like how during her entire side mission, he's like, go and destroy this weapons cache or whatever. And Batman never once talks back to her. He just goes and does it. Like ignoring her.
What about that in Origins, bro? I remember like vividly when you have to go into the sewers.
Yeah.
And he's like, good work, Alfred. And he's like, and so do try to keep out of the muck down there. Remember who has to clean your suit? Or even that the triumph I felt when he's like, they need you, Master Bruce. At the end when he's like realized that Batman is important and it's a must. And then he's like, no,
like his teammates.
They need us. It's like,
they
yes,
need us.
Yes.
Get in, mate. He learned his lesson. Batman learned he needs to work with people.
He never wished Alfred a Merry Christmas. He just said thanks.
Ratty, mate. You know what Alfred does for him? Alfred's basically his dad at this point.
I do love when he was questioning him about like the how valid is this information of the assassins. He's like, you heard this from the mouth of a crocodile, sir. And then he's like, when he explains who he is, he's like, I pity his cellmates. And then Bruce is just like, I don't.
I don't. Yeah, mate. They had brilliant banter. They were well written.
Oh, there's so many. Even you could tell, obviously, it's all a show. Bruce is like being an asshole to Alfred because deep down he does view him as his dad. Yeah. And I think it's made evident when he's poisoned by Copperhead, because one of his fears is Alfred saying you're a disappointment.
Yeah, it was very emotional time for him.
Yeah, and even just saying he's a disgrace to the Waynes was like, it was such a... I think it gave Copperhead a lot more credit than she would have gotten if that scene wasn't in the game. Because besides that, she was just like I don't know, Justin Bieber from like
Yeah,
2016.
yeah, true. But yeah, you're
So
right. She wasn't a huge part of it, but it was a good way to represent how Bruce like thinks. If you know what I mean, like we got a good
yeah,
insight into what Bruce doesn't want to happen, more than him
and
just saying,
even
"I don't want that."
like we said before, bringing back the woman who got killed by the Joker with the giant grin on her
Yeah,
face. It was a good way to just show the guilt he feels over that
yeah. That
death.
he couldn't save everyone.
It was a cool scene that like building up to it when you put like the explosive gel on the ground and like there's so many guards and think shit, how am I supposed to do this? And then just cut straight into like this cinematic cutscene. Oh, I will say the
Yeah,
music is probably my favorite in the entire four games. Arkham Origins is my favorite one.
that like sly, like jingle belly type of theme, I think's
Yeah,
proper brilliant. Like when you're just gliding
well,
around.
even the menu theme's good. The main theme, like when it builds up in the first cutscene, I play that all the time
Oh,
because it's made by I think Christopher Drake, and he's done a shit ton.
Robin's dad.
He's
No
a
way.
secretly a composer in his spare time. He even did the Batman Under the Red Hood and the Dark Knight Returns animated film.
Ah, that's it. The
So
only
he's
like
like he's
music I
good with
remember is the
Batman.
Arkham City theme. But
Oh, that's
carry on.
classic. The only thing I don't like is I'm pretty sure he's a pain in the ass when it comes to copyright,
Ah, chaos.
which that makes him enemies of us.
Yeah.
He
Unless we're
is the
like
threat
talking
and
the entire
menace of the
time.
Panel
Oh,
Pals.
you hear us, Chris Drake? We're coming for you.
You're a fraud, Chris J.
And your little son Tim too.
Stay away from any ducks, if you know what I mean, Chris Drake. But even when it comes to with the music, I feel like it's important to have a good soundtrack because I feel like games like Miles Morales sort of failed. I don't really like the mix of like hip hop beats with orchestra. I thought it's
Yeah,
just
that's
really
all they did
weird.
for him as well. They took
Yeah,
the
I wonder
orchestra from
why.
Seven and just put
I
like
wonder why.
a little bit of drum beat in it to make you think, yeah, that's hip. Shit, mate.
It's like
More
that one
superheroes.
reviewer, the exaggerated swagger of it. That's the thing is that's unironically what Insomniac does with all their Miles things is that's like their mindset.
Yeah, they just take pieces and then give it a bit of like a black twist.
It's like how can we make this cool? It's, it's
Shit, like
so
making him
stupid.
sample beats from the docks to defeat
Yeah,
symbiotes. What the
the
fuck?
most
What?
shittest beat you'll
The
ever make is
cringiest
in
way you could have done it. Well done. More games
even in the
need like
Miles game.
Spider-Man PS1 type of soundtracks. Just raw, like pick a genre like jazz and just go nuts with it.
Yeah, have like a distinct sound effect for everything as well. Like in Ultimate
Yeah,
Spider-Man, that weird click sound in the menus where everything was like
yeah. Make it memorable, man.
yeah, each game used to have a style, but recently I can't really depict the style of any of the like the new games.
Now everything's just generic orchestra now.
Well, even just when it comes to the gameplay
Yeah,
and the graphics and the designs, I look at Spider-Man 2, the new one, and I just
yeah.
still it just feels like a DLC. Whereas like even Origins to me feels more like its own thing than Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
And that
I'd love
reused
more
everything.
Origins.
Well, I mean,
They've got the full city there from Arkham Knight.
Knight, yeah,
Why
and they
don't
could
they
add the
just take
city
that?
one.
Yeah, just take that and go back and You know what I mean? Give us more Arkham
We're
Origins. Just
on,
call it like, give it a new
we're on the
subtitle.
PS5 now.
Yeah.
Give us something to use it with.
Yeah, please.
Give
Arkham
us a
Knight
game.
still looks fantastic, like
Yeah,
graphics
like
wise. It's
give us a
wasted.
game with Knight's graphics, but then like make the perfect Gotham filled with civilians and make it so it's not just a night thing. Make it so we can actually go through daytime and nighttime and
Yeah.
give us
Give us
some
like
sort
a
of
full
depth.
plot. Even if you just take the long Halloween and turn it into a game. Just do
Yeah, there's
something with
so
it.
much. It baffles me how many times they ignore the source material because it's an easy way to make a movie or a show or a game. It's right there. Use it.
I would love to just, like for that Spider-Man PS4 game, if all the DLCs were just classic issues of Spider-Man, but you play through them. Like what this did with Cold Heart. If like you went back and just let me play as Spider-Man in his first fight with Electro. Just do that and I'd love that. But instead I got
Instead
some
of
shit
like
Hammerhead Cyborg bullshit.
Silvermane wannabe.
When you're
Just
stealing
use
from
Silvermane.
Silvermane of all people, you've hit
It's
rock
like
bottom.
you could have, yeah, like you could have just used Silvermane at that point. Have
Yeah.
a proper gang war.
Yeah, give me that Daredevil in the fat suit.
That should be how they introduce him as well. He'd be like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm
You're not the
Daredevil."
Kingpin. You'd have to be a Daredevil to dare challenge me.
And then he like gets severe PTSD from getting called a Daredevil.
The kids used to call me Daredevil because I was black.
It'd be like Ben Affleck with like, "Why did you say that name?" He's got like Spider-Man.
Mate, if they went back and made more DLC for this, even if it wasn't like you said, just show us his first battles with his villains as cool villains. Even some of the
Ra's al
shitter
Ghul
ones.
would be sick.
Oh, it'd be legit. And then you could have like the Talia stuff make more sense because
Yeah,
it's okay
show
for
them
us who
full
love the
romance.
comics. But when you play in Arkham City, if you just played Asylum and City and you're just seeing a few Batman films, for example, if you went into the comics like we are, you'd be like, who the hell is Talia al Ghul?
And doesn't she mention that they had a night in Metropolis?
Yeah. So
I'd
to us, we're
love
like,
to see.
ooh, that means there might be Damien, and then
And
it's
then
just not
fucking
followed up.
Superman. It's
Yeah.
like
Even Arkham Knight's got billboards saying like fly to Metropolis, run to Keystone.
And then you got
Even
like
though
I used to, when I didn't know what to post on my channel, I used to milk like Arkham Easter egg videos for like just YouTube shorts, just to quickly pump them out. There's in Night you can find Jeff Johns on the whiteboard. You can find Zatanna in Origins.
Yeah.
Knight has Gorilla Grodd, like his cell in the airship.
Mate, in Iron Heights.
Polka Dot Man. There's the what's that one with all the colors? I forgot his name.
Crazy Quilt.
Yeah, Crazy Quilt. Like it's quite like through Easter eggs, it's established that nearly every character is in the game, but you just don't see them.
He has battled all the villains.
In
Killer
TASM
Moth,
1,
Ten-Eyed
the video
Man.
game.
Yeah.
You find all these shitty cross species, but you can find a park bench, Mr. Negative Sadat. You can find Sandman, just him swirling around. You can find the Vulture's feathers. Like, can I fight them? No, he's a bench. It's like, oh, fuck you then.
Literally, I just Easter eggs instead of letting us go and actually play it.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Negative sat here. Who gives a shit? Can I fight him?
Get a photo. Someone's just painted the bench black. It's not even.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sure Mr. Jameson will like this one.
Yeah, just they need to do something for us, mate.
Yeah, it's to the point where it's almost insulting.
Yeah. It's teasing us. I know they call it teasers, but yeah, even idiots like Ten-Eyed Man. Let me just fight. Let me stop a crime.
Is that when his eyes are on his fingers?
Yeah. Even like the shitter ones. Even mate, Catman. Where's Catman's boss fight? Where's Killer Moth's boss fight? You don't even fight Calendar Man, he just sits there, doesn't he? Where's who?
Yeah, but then he kills a Two-Face like goon and escapes.
Yeah. And then he's at your house at the end of night, isn't he? But he doesn't do nothing. Doesn't say nothing of relevance. Exactly.
You like
why
yell
did the
for one
Two-Face
to
goon?
come down?
You telling me Two-Face cared enough to feed Calendar Man at the bottom of the bloody... Why would Two-Face care? It's not his responsibility.
No food, bitch. He's just...
2 sandwiches, bitch.
He has to flip a coin to just see which one he gets.
If the Oreo lands cream side up, you get it.
Even like, it sucks now that Harvey Dent is finally going to be introduced before, pre-Two-Face in the VR game.
Yeah, because we don't see him in this.
Well, so Origins had such a good setup for, Gordon becoming commissioner.
Yeah.
Considering, Loeb died.
Yeah.
If they just did it properly, we could have had a game to play. We could have then had Harvey and if they could have built up that the trio of Harvey, Gordon, and Batman together.
I was just going to ask you, have you read Year One? Because before he's working with Gordon, he's already working with Harvey, isn't he? So if you could have them 3, as you say, teaming up before Harvey's accident, you could.
Yeah, that could be the plot.
That could be the plot of Arkham Origins too.
Yeah, because I like how. And then when the acid goes into his face, it sends him crazy. Because then it adds a bit more to the story when they're actually friends. Yeah,
but you need to build up Harvey. Then you can't just have him turn up as Two-Face. You need to show them being friends.
Yeah, like Matt Reeves should introduce Two-Face into the sequel of the Batman.
Yeah,
there's no DA, so it's like surely he fills in that little plot.
I recommend you buy American. Oh, that's something funny. I was in the comics I was reading the other day. It was a Two-Face story, and the guy he killed was called Dr. Eckhart, and the guy who played Two-Face in the movie was Aaron Eckhart. And then the very next issue had Electrocutioner trying to kill someone called Mike Caine, and Michael Caine played Alfred in them same movies. It's like, whoa.
It's like an asylum where in the tapes with Scarecrow, the guards are named after the actors who played him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like Dr. Combs for Jeffrey Combs.
And Cillian.
Yeah, Dr. Murphy made Cillian Murphy. But the Batman has a talent for deception. He was sick in that.
Sometimes the tapes were more enjoyable than the actual depiction of the characters.
Yeah. How did Killer Croc go from being just some normal, not normal, but in this game he's not even a cannibal, and then by Asylum, all he talks about is eating people.
In the tape, he calls the woman a bitch. It's just coming out of Killer Croc's mouth. It sounds hilarious.
He's even got lips to do the B. I would never got Scarface.
No, you've seen the doll, but no Scarface.
Never
is he in the
ventriloquist,
VR?
mate.
I can't remember if I saw him.
Oh shit,
in
maybe.
the VR trailer.
Ratcatcher isn't he? Didn't see him either. He died in City, apparently.
Well, yeah.
Just Penguin had him killed. Lame.
But he's called the Rat King in
Is
the
it
game.
The same guy in this VR one?
Well, he's race swapped, so I've got no clue. I don't know if they may be going a different route or if they're doing another Deadshot.
He was race swapped in the second Suicide Squad movie, wasn't he? Because he was...
Yeah, because they made...
The guy who directed Thor, whatever. I can't pronounce his name.
Taika Waititi, yeah.
That's the one.
I just call him a terrorist.
I thought he did the Thor, definitely.
The Thor movies.
Yeah. After Love and Thunder, yeah.
I can't stand that prick.
Oh, awful, man.
What would you say is your favorite additional costume in the game? Mine, I'm pretty sure I said Long Halloween is mine.
I did quite enjoy the XE suit you get in the DLC. I know it's just bulky armor Batman, but it's got like thermal gloves. I just think it's dead cool.
Oh
Like
yeah,
how he's already
isn't
huge
his
and
mouth covered?
yeah, but Batman's already massive. But when he cracks on that suit and the thugs see him coming, they're like, "Oh shit!" Now he's like twice the size.
I think that their costumes were a lot more fun in this game. Like they had the thrill killer suit,
Ooh,
which I thought it looked nice with the orange, like just to mess around with.
yeah.
The medieval one was sick. You run around in like an actual clad of armor, looking like a proper knight. The White
That's
Lantern one
class.
fits so well, especially with the snow.
Oh yeah, because it's Christmas.
Yeah, he blends in perfectly. There was what else was there? The was it the Russian one?
Oh yeah, from Red Sun.
Yeah,
Where
and
it's
that
got the
fits
Russian, like
perfectly.
the woolly hat.
Yeah,
Yeah, mate.
it fits so well.
But
I mean, I never got
Gotham
to
by
play with the
Gaslight.
Azrael suit. They nailed it as well.
Yeah, it's plus.
I never got to play with the Azrael suit, but I always wanted to. That was the one suit I really wanted.
Did
I
they
think
all
they
come back
nailed it,
for?
and
Oh yeah, that's sick. That one.
they did. Adam West was, I think, exclusive to PS3.
Oh.
It's just funny seeing Adam West with this Batman. Will be theirs as he's wearing like the shit.
It's roaring like, swear to me, and it's out the
Yeah,
place.
like, but even like Alfred, like that whole scene, Alfred isn't telling him to like not go out. He's just like, well, Master Breach, you can't be wearing that suit if you're gonna try and interrogate the assassins. He's or even Deathstroke had in the
Oh
challenge
yeah, you
maps you
could
could use his like
play as him. Yeah.
classic suit was there, like his
Oh,
George
nice.
Perez. Sick
What
as
I was gonna say,
the Detective Comics was there as
ooh,
well.
nice. Do you
The
know
classic
that's
one.
while we're on the subject? Black Mask, I think, obviously got screwed over here, but in the entire Arkham's franchise, you just see him as a joke. You see him briefly
Yeah,
at the
even
start of City, don't you? Where he's getting made a fool of by Tiger Guards.
yeah,
And then the next time
yeah,
you see him,
even
he dies.
well, also in City, you got the Robin DLC,
Yeah, he tries to
the
bust out
challenge
on a
maps.
train. And suddenly Mr. Hammer works for him, even though Mr. Hammer should be over in the steel mill fighting Batman.
Well, the only cool part of that was the train. I think that was the only memorable part of Black Mask was
Yeah.
just, oh, you got to fight a train.
It's so simple. Like, it's how cool it is when you're fighting a bunch of guys, but one of them's a supervillain. You know what I mean? Like that bit there,
Well,
it's clearly he's got the mask, so you know it's Black Mask. You're on the train,
yeah,
and you're fighting his
he
goons,
gets
and
like,
he's one of them.
well, to use some of the language of the today, he's got so much aura about him.
Yeah,
Like
like
you
you want to
see him and you
save
think,
him for
shit.
last.
Yeah, yeah, you purposely take everyone out but Black Mask.
Yeah, this is you and
It's
me.
like, well, we've talked about this like before about Ultimate Spider-Man being the only game that really had supervillains randomly appear.
Yeah,
And you think, why?
yeah. What's
Why?
stopping them, man?
Like, could
Even
you
low tier
imagine if,
guys like Lightmaster, get them in there.
like, imagine if in Night you just had at least like different goons to punch? Like, what if you had like a whole bunch of Two-Face goons or Black Mask, and then the more you knock out and stop, then like you actually have to fight their
Yeah,
boss.
like the full boss comes out.
Yeah, like because he just gets pissed.
Yeah,
It's Gotham. They'll escape within like 2 seconds. Plus, whose idea was it at night to put all the villains into one jail cell?
yeah. You can hear them collaborating at the end as well, like Firefly's talking to Deacon Blackfire about like how fun it is to burn stuff.
It's so cool. I did think the glue grenade in that was weird. Just even the way it stuck onto Firefly looked oddly disturbing.
Yeah.
It was. They obviously thought like we need to implement these weapons somehow because it's just so much fun to use.
But he's not met Mr. Freeze, so how do we use the freeze grenade assets without...
Glue does not make sense.
No, because it bubbles in the water like the freeze grenades do, and it just looks disgusting.
Yeah, it's like, but how is... So, like, the glue somehow in that capsule solidifies to that raft size and is strong enough to keep him afloat?
Yeah, how's it floating at all? Yeah, it's a mess.
I mean, the rest were pretty standard. I did think it was funny how, granted, Batman in Asylum wasn't really expecting what happened to happen, which is
so
why he didn't really...
Batarangs, didn't he?
Yeah, but it's still funny how in every other game he has more gadgets.
Yeah. He's just that good, mate. He doesn't need the line launcher at the start.
Asylum gets it done. If you think about it, Asylum gets it done because he barely used any gadgets besides like 3.
Yeah, you only need the explosive gel, really, don't
Yeah,
you?
and the line launcher, and the sequencer, and that's the 3 gadgets you really need in Asylum.
Yeah. And then back in time, mate.
He's got everything.
Yeah.
He even has the Batwing operating. You don't even use the Batwing again.
I saw someone the other day on YouTube finish a fight using the remote electrical charge. And it was bloody hilarious how, like, he beat the shit out of, like, 7 dudes. And then as the last guy was running away, Batman just pulls out this gun and sends him flying, mate, with it.
Even I love those obvious, you accidentally knock the guy over the edge and he's just fallen about, I don't know, a skyscraper worth of a distance.
Yeah. Oh, he's fine.
And if you do manage to find him, it says unconscious. It's like, well, not really though.
Well, after you do Killer Croc's lair in Arkham Asylum, you fight a bunch of guys in the sewers, and a few of them do end up face down in the water. Batman just moves along. That's a bit.
Yeah, you can even like in Asylum as well. You know when you're fighting all those goons for Harley Quinn.
Yeah. And
you can knock people off the rail and they fall.
Yeah, down into the chasm of nothing.
Yeah. I know in some spots as well, in like the botanical gardens, has like water at the bottom to make it sound like, oh, they just... But at the same time, it's like, it's that dark down there. Are they even going to be able to escape?
And they're unconscious after that. So...
Even if by some chance they had that one hit and they just fell through, it's like, you're in pitch black, deep waters, no escape. You're not making it out, mate.
Poison Ivy's not going to save you, fellas.
Even like some of the takedowns, you think surely that's done some sort of damage?
Yeah.
Like,
he does
with
crack
the shield
skulls
takedown,
into pavement, doesn't he?
Well, in the shield takedown,
yeah.
you smack their head hits the concrete, and you use the shield and smash their throat with it.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
that would do some sort of damage.
He's breathing through a tube for the rest of his life, but I didn't kill him, so it's fine.
It's like an Injustice is like, so you won't kill, but you're fine with traumatic brain injuries.
You know it.
I do like how Batman was a bit brutal, though. In Origins specifically.
Like, when he chucks him off the gargoyle, off the clock tower, when he tells him where Penguin is. And he crashes into the tree. Yeah.
But even, like, he's just so aggressive that he makes mistakes in Origins. Like, he chokes out the guy. Wasn't his name, like, Loose Lips?
Yeah, Loose Lips.
He's like, damn it. And he wakes, and then that's when you get that cool ass scene.
Yeah, gotta wait for him to wake up.
Well, but he was there for like 2 hours.
That's the rest of the night gone, yeah.
It actually does take place longer than a night. It took him a whole day to wake up.
He didn't have
Batman would never
electrocution
tell
as
you that.
gloves at that point, did he? So he couldn't resuscitate them.
There was even that was so overpowered. The fact you could just switch on the gloves after a certain point and then just
Just
shock all the goons.
Yeah, mate. Get like criticals left and right.
Oh, when you're in that flow state, there's nothing like it.
Oh yeah, mate. I am Batman in that flow state, even. There's something lame that I thought City cocked up on. In Asylum, if you click hard mode, there is no reticule to tell you when to counter. But in every other game, that's only a new game plus. So you have to play through the whole game just to not be warned about countering. Because you feel more like Batman when you know. Go ahead.
But remember before, I was like, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
It just clicked finally because of the difficulty thing, and it'd been in the Origin game.
Yeah.
Arkham Origins is the only Arkham game to have I Am the Night mode.
Oh yeah, it's like one death and you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, you restart the entire game if you die. And it's so cool.
Yeah,
because it's like, you really test out how good are you at this game. Oh, I was doing it myself, yeah. I have beaten it. I have. But it took me like a few goes. And my second last go, I was at the last level in the prison. But you know when you're like in that underground part and there's like the electricity water or the electric water?
Yeah.
Batman, for some reason, wouldn't like walk over the thing. And then so I jumped and he stood up and then slowly slid off. It deemed him like not on the platform. And he slid and went straight into the electric water and fucking died. And I sat there like heartbroken. Like I sat here for so long.
7 hours in. Yeah.
I was like, Rob,
the glitch gets you.
Died by electric water?
Oh.
That's bullshit.
Alfred. Shocking.
Shocking, sir. Not now, Alfred. And it's like...
Leave.
No. Even I forgot to say, you know when he does like that, the Jingle Bells Batman smells?
Yeah.
Afterwards he calls Gordon, he's like, this one bites. it's like, you might want to bring a muzzle.
Quality.
Have you ever tried the I Am the Night?
I have tried it, yeah. It's been a few years since I've played this, but I don't think I got very far with it. I think it's them when they've planted bombs on the GCPD and like there's martial artists at the arse. I think it might be your first introduction to them, actually. Remember getting sorted out there and just thought, right, I'm not doing it.
Well, I remember like there's no fear quite like knowing you're in trouble in I Am the Night. As soon as you realize like shit, all these guys with guns just spotted me. I full on pissed myself like, I don't want to restart again.
God no way.
You do like anything you can, smoke bomb, jump in every direction, grapple. Just spam the grapple trigger until you eventually lose them.
You're just swinging gargoyle to gargoyle.
Yeah, I like how like
they'll stop.
They lose you from that, even though you could just swing back and forth between the same ones.
Yeah.
I lost him, and he's just going from like one side to the other.
Yeah. Did he do that like in Asylum where they plant bombs on the gargoyles?
Yeah.
Because that shook me up the first time, mate. I was like, how the hell am I meant to do it?
It's just annoying. It's just annoying, I think.
Yeah, but it does add a bit of spice to it.
Yeah. I do prefer that over the generic, like, boss fight, but with a billion goons to help out.
Oh, I know. That War Thin by Bane in Asylum, mate. I think that's the first boss fight. I want to be fighting
like
the super villain, not a million dudes.
I do like how Joker's just like, well, I'm paying you guys to help him out. Like, get on it.
Yeah. Back on the subject when we were on about Black Mask, where you're saving him for last. In City, in that Joker fight where I've just talked shit about the boss fights that are all the goons, but when it's just Batman and the Joker, and then all them fellas and the Titans come in, and you've saved Joker for last, you're like, you've earned this, mate. Uppercut him in the jaw.
Do like the beatdown thing where it's just like a 50 combo.
Yeah, you got to make it special, not just tap.
I do like how
the trigger
when
for
you
the
do
batarang.
fight Joker in City, they like actually make it so you can just beat him up longer.
Yeah, you can take a bit more, can't you?
Well, if we look at Origins, Asylum, well, City doesn't really count because he died. He didn't really die. If we look at Origins and Asylum, he should be like in a vegetable state.
Yeah, his spine comes out in Asylum, and all of a sudden he's fine in City. He's walking as well.
We've already mentioned before about like in the church where you just bash the shit out of Joker.
Yeah.
He already then would be in a state where he would need to be fed. He would, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. At the end of Asylum, he's getting wheeled away, isn't he? And like, he's missing a few teeth, but he's still laughing and still joking. And you're like, come on, mate, after what you've just been through. How's Batman's arm okay after that?
He holds it. That's how you know he's injured. He holds it.
Yeah, but then he's got both hands on the wheel of the Batwing at the end, so he's fine. Yeah. What's that about? Didn't even dislocate his shoulder with an why doesn't he just do that to everyone? Why didn't he do that to Bane? Just explosive jelly, man.
It would have, if it doesn't like blow your hand off, that would actually come in handy a lot with all the situations.
He's fine at the end of the set. He holds it for 2 minutes and then he's fine. So every time he fights someone stronger than him.
What if in Asylum, you know, when you have to like spray the ground with electric gel, explosive gel, sorry.
Yeah.
What if he like ran out by accident?
Yeah, he's used too much, mate. Riddler would win, wouldn't
he? Like, what if like as soon as Croc is about to get him, the thing stops working?
No signal in the sewers, yeah. I love how he takes the time to draw the bat every time, mate. You could just do a tiny little
Killer Croc.
Yeah.
Even Killer Croc, he draws a giant bat.
Yeah, and then he waits. It's like, just do like a cross or something, dude. You're fine. And then Robin does an R.
Oh, and then everyone else is boring. Did Nightwing have it? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. Nightwing
in City had the cool darts, and then they took it away from him.
Like he was, mate, in City, he was a weapon, and then in Night, he's a little bitch.
Yeah, they even like made him generic, because instead of a wingding, he had a batarang.
Yeah.
And he had like the electric jump thing.
Even like his logo in City just looks like a blue piece of metal. It's not like the bed.
Yeah, like something about like Nightwing in City. I feel like he looked more almost like an e-boy. But like you knew that he would pull in a sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like Knight was just more like a soy boy version of Dick.
Yeah. He's got bad hair, bad mask, and a bad logo. That's the main sticking point for me. It doesn't look like it's meant to be a bear, doesn't it? Because he's Nightwing.
Yeah.
And
but even in Night, he had a weird cowl.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a domino mask. It connected to the back of his head.
Yeah, like Gambit.
Yeah, like almost like Gambit.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And the disrespect he gets in City as well. Like Penguin catches him. How?
Or in Night, yeah.
In Night, yeah. Penguin just like all of a sudden Penguin's got him and you gotta go save him. It's like, how did Penguin get Nightwing's meant to be literally second Batman. He's meant to be the best, isn't he?
Well, also, like, he's been dealing in Bloodhaven for so long. You'd think, mate, surely you got this on lockdown. Even in City, he, I'm pretty sure he had to protect Wayne Manor from the Tiger Guards.
Yeah, he does, because there's a level in the foyer and in the back cave, isn't there?
And I'm pretty sure also, like, in the comics, it might have had something like that. But
Yeah.
if he can take on Tiger Guards, I'm pretty sure Penguin would be no challenge whatsoever.
Tiger Guards have been psychologically groomed to be like the
Yeah,
ultimate soldiers, and
I do
Nightwing's got it sorted.
They never feel fear in the game.
Yeah, it's just agitated in the detective mode.
It's cool as.
Yeah, it's boss race.
Well, like I remember as like when I first played it, and you could find that guard from the trailer.
Oh yeah, dead in the cell. Well, in the room.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that trailer's boss, mate. You knew we couldn't
Speaking
take
of
it.
trailers,
Of course, I do.
You sent us anyway. But even like Arkham Origins had such good trailers.
Yeah, that Deathstroke fight at the Queen shipping yard.
Yeah, and they show like all the assassins, like even Deadshot shooting the sword.
Yeah.
Or even that one of just, it's simple as, it's like 10 seconds, but it's, you see Bruce getting punched. Oh no, you see his parents getting shot.
Yeah.
And you see him getting punched as a kid, as a teenager, as a ninja, and then as Batman.
Yeah, mate, like his evolution.
And he just looks, and then he like leaps back in with the punch. They were all done so well.
Yeah. That's still like the coolest
they were real.
Deathstrokes ever been. Where in that one where he's fighting at like the shipping yard in the snow.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And even like, I think Arkham Origins, there's something about it that's just, it's just so good. It's so cool.
I think it's because it's not like an ending story like City or Night. It's the beginning, innit? You know, there's more fun also to
like, in a way, it feels like it could be its own thing as well.
Yeah, it could have been its own like spin-off.
So yeah, if you don't have to even picture it as an Arkham game, it could work within its own thing.
Yeah.
I would have loved if they'd done like another series of it with like Court of Owls as the main villain. Because I mean, Gotham Knights tried it, but
I've never looked at anything Gotham Knights, you know, because the second they said it wasn't to do with Arkham, I was like, oh my god. Then.
Well, it had potential, but then they clearly had other focuses with that game. Like one of the emails, you see like Jason Todd talking about going to like a certain parade and how he's an ally. It's bash the goon.
Black Mask is an ally, isn't he? You seen that comic panel with Black Mask where he's like, he goes like, I do. Why are you chasing? Why are you beating up gays? And he goes, it's just business. I'm an ally.
Does he fucking say that?
Yeah, I'll send it to you in a minute. He straight up says,
Mask is scared of getting cancelled.
He must be. Him in the False Face Society on Twitter.
This actual like murderer and gangbanger is scared of getting cancelled.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is worse than that one time he killed all these people. This is worse than that gang war he was involved in.
I'll fight Batman, but the woke mob? No, thank you.
I do like that one part of Origins, like just to show how batshit crazy Joker is. Didn't he make Roman kill his own girlfriend?
Yeah, in the crime scene investigation, yeah, mate. Forced
and
and then jacked them up.
And he burnt like a corpse or something.
Yeah. He was just waiting in like his chair, wasn't he? The skeleton, you see the skeleton just chilling by the window, sat down in his chair, and then when they walk in, starts blasting.
It's so cool. It's the I think also a part of it. Joker in Asylum was more like a narrator almost.
Yeah.
Like, granted, he took control, but he never truly felt.
It's like he's not there, innit? You see him in the botanical gardens, and then at the very end of the game, and that's it, more or less.
Because he's mostly just TV screens.
Yeah.
Whereas here, he's like, you see him, and you see the shit he does. In Asylum, it's more like you see everything just after the fact. You see
or,
all the
you
guards.
hear him making people scream instead of
but
seeing
in
why.
here it's like we're going through a detective scene of what just happened, or you just see you watch him blow up several buildings.
Yeah.
While he laughs about
just
it.
showing, not telling. That's good thinking, that, yeah. You're actually seeing what he's up to.
You know, he's funny.
Yeah, that's the main bit.
I mean, if Arkham Origins is just Bruce wants to laugh and he hires the Joker.
Hires a clown and it's the Joker.
That's how they first meet. It'd be like when he brings Vicky Vale to the Batcave. In that one for in Batman.
Yeah.
But just brings Joker to the Batcave. Yeah. He's like, "What's up, Bruce? I'm watching a clown." He's like, "What the?"
A clown for Christmas.
Diabolical. Have you noticed
What's your,
the Arkham Origins? Batman looks like that one actor who played Hawk in Teen Titans. I forget his name.
Let me have a look.
Like, he looks similar
in live action Titans.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh,
yeah, he does. Like Alan Richardson.
Yeah. If you just put a mask on him, he sort of just looks like Arkham Origins Batman. He's got the size for it.
Yeah, he's huge, Christ.
It would be sick to have like an Origins film.
Yeah. They need to stop messing around with realism and give us some crazier stuff.
Well, the one thing I like about the Arkham games is it's realistic in some senses, and then it has the fantasy aspect of it.
Clayface out of nowhere, mate.
Yeah, it's got Clayface, Killer Croc.
Yeah.
Even someone as stupid as Firefly.
We've had a full trilogy of like serious, realistic Batman from Nolan. So now it's time for like the goofier crew to turn up. Give them their time to shine. Well,
even I would think that Man-Bat would be one of the best fantasy, like realistic villains you could pick.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think Man-Bat would be sick. Everyone knows Batman's like just this dude. He's got no superpowers. So it's interesting seeing him take on people who should be able to like destroy him in one, and somehow he pulls through. So what makes Poison Ivy and Clayface and that cool?
There's also like a difference between that and when I can't stand certain Batman fans where they act like he can beat anyone in a fight.
Oh yeah.
And I hate comic books that I hate comics that enforce the idea as well. Like when he fucking takes on Darkseid. I think that's stupid.
When Catwoman defeats the Flash in Tom King's run.
Does she defeat the Flash?
She does. He runs at her really fast, of course, and she sticks her hand out and punches him, and that's it. The Flash has gone down to Catwoman.
It's not like he's completely blinded by how fast he's going. He's able to see shit.
It, yeah. And like the excuse is Poison Ivy's controlling his mind, but that's still the Flash who's just been knocked out by one Catwoman punch. So what's that about?
His real arch nemesis is Catwoman.
Captain Cold's like watching in the background, like, oh, how did she do it? Write that down.
After all these years.
I just had to punch him.
Just stick my arm out. Even like Reverse Flash is just like fucking dying of laughter in the corner.
Yeah.
It was me, Barry.
He's like, in the future, he's like reading the history of the Flash. There it is. A legendary Catwoman.
The only person to knock him out with just a punch. A mere human.
That Blue Beetle from Justice League International. One punch. Took him out with one punch.
I love it was like when Batman punches Guy.
Yeah. It was that, but with
knocks him out.
Flash. Yeah, bullshit.
Even
Final
I thought
thoughts
this.
then. Oh god.
I was gonna say with Black Cat when she had this weird like romance with Dick Grayson for one issue. I thought this is a bit weird.
Oh, that is
Why?
weird. Right? The cartoon had a weird episode of that as well, didn't it?
Did they? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
there's like an episode of Batman Tasks where like Nightwing's flirting with Catwoman, and it's very weird because it feels like obviously you see Catwoman and you think she should be with Batman, so it's like
it's like
stepmom fantasy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Norman.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why is she perving on
Do you think
this
that like
clearly younger
him and
boy?
Bruce would get along?
I would love to see them both bidding on the same business.
It's like, well, you know, they go to like therapy together, and then
I hate
Norman's
seeing
like,
all of them. Them like,
Norman's like,
Batman would destroy Spider-Man's villains easy, but Spider-Man would crumble like a bitch. It's like, how?
You've never read a Spidey comic, have you?
Yeah, genuinely, what are you talking about? You don't think Spider-Man could beat the Joker? Come on, dude.
Just web him.
But you'll believe Batman can take down the Rhino.
Or like fucking Carnage and Venom.
Yeah, even just the Green Goblin. He's got like batarangs himself. He's got Batman's
like,
techniques, but super strength and healing.
And he's like, he's not even like, he's pretty smart as well when it comes to his tactics. He thinks like he actually thinks things through.
Yeah.
But could you imagine Norman and Bruce in therapy, and then Norman just goes, "Well, I got my son's wife pregnant," and then Bruce is like, "Oh shit, no way, me too."
Me too. Yeah.
They just like highlight. They do that like handshake, like from that one Arnold film.
Oh yeah, from Predator, mate, with the clasp. Yeah.
They just like bond over it.
Christ. Oh, they both did, didn't they? That was that put me off in the Batman Beyond comics. There's a full arc about why Nightwing doesn't talk to Batman, and it is because he shagged Batgirl.
Yeah, and she was pregnant.
Yeah, and she was pregnant and she lost it, and it was like, what a mess you made of this.
The show did
Paul
it just
Dini.
fine. The show was fine enough where it was just like it was building up throughout all the years of like him not agreeing with the way he does things, and then the Batgirl like going behind Dick's back to team up with Batgirl was like the final straw. That's perfectly enough to just have it so that's why they're not talking, not with what
Paul Dini's some pervert, isn't he?
Was it more Tim though? I feel like Tim would have been responsible for most of it because
Bruce Timm is the one who pushes it, like in that when they did Killing Joke. Yeah,
it wasn't even in the comic book.
No, mate, you gotta add it in. That's it. I'm sorry, Paul Dini, if you're listening to this. I meant Bruce Timm. Please forgive me. Come on the show.
Paul Dini, you're fine. Bruce Timm, we're adding another threat and menace to the panel, pal.
Bruce Timm, stop trying to get on the show. We're not having
We should make... We don't deal with your kind, Bruce.
No, you sicko.
Go join the Mad Hatter on his podcast, not the Panel Pals.
Go join
we should have
Comic
like
Hour.
You know when like the FBI have like all the photos of the say like of the mafia
most
group.
Wanted list, right?
Or like all the like you got the capo and you got the Don, the consigliere.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to figure out how it's all linked. We got like Bruce Timm, like fucking
Micah Sin.
He's all linked with he's a legend of the show.
When are we reviewing his first appearance?
We should do one of just an hour of talking about Sin. Because it goes on for quite a bit. The story is quite long.
Yeah, mate. He shanks Foggy's wife. He eats terribly.
Keeps her hostage.
By the Rose's time in Spider-Man, he's messing with the Kingpin.
Micah Sin.
Couldn't believe that reference, mate. When we've been talking about Micah Sin for like a week, and as I'm reading through the Roses like story, Kingpin's goon mentions Micah Sin. It's like, no way.
What could he possibly do to like cause an issue?
To the Kingpin, I thought he'd been left behind in the 70s, like Penny Plunderer and Angar the Screamer, but no, like, mate. Micah Sin is in the modern day.
He just learned how to like act like a human the other day, and now he's like what, taking territory off Kingpin.
How? He's not even
Who
like
would want to work with him?
At least the Rose has like the Hobgoblin as like his sidekick to do all the dirty work. What's Micah Sin doing?
As a goon, it would make sense to join like their group. Who's like, oh, okay, we got the Roach as the mastermind. We got Hobgoblin, who's this fucking powerful. He's like
menace. The muscle, yeah.
And then it's like, and then you got like Micah Sin. He's like, well, when I work with Micah Sin, I can just eat whatever the fuck I want. Like he's got this massive table of just like this all you can eat. They go, well, shit, yeah, fuck, might as well.
I can have a cheat day with Micah Sin.
I don't have to, work out with Sin. It's just fucking go, go, go. Micah Sin pays us with McDonald's.
You're driving back from like a hit and run with Micah Sin. Can we stop at McDonald's? Sure.
And when you drive past it, he turns into like that kid that just doesn't get it. Starts fucking whining. But Tony,
Micah, no, your diet's so poor.
Micah wants McDonald's. Fucking such. Like, he just goes after all their wives afterwards. It's like,
for revenge,
you dare deny me fast food. She is now a slave. None can compare.
Ooh, no, it's unstoppable. Batman he wouldn't have him. He'd lose. Even this Batman's only been Batman for 2 years. He's inexperienced. Micah Sin would destroy him. By Arkham Knight, Batman might have a slight chance.
A very slight, yeah. With the Joker in control, because then he would fight recklessly.
What if Arkham Knight was like, who are you? You really have no idea, do you, Bruce? Micah Sin.
Removes the mask to reveal the bearded wonder.
He's still got some tomato sauce around his lips.
It was me, Bruce. I stole all the fast food in Gotham.
Maybe that's why the Kingpin's after him.
Because he's ruining his diet.
He's ruined all the McDonald's in Manhattan. So Fisk is not happy with him, mate.
Wesley, I need you to capture Micah Sin for my diet can't handle it. It is embarrassing me in front of Vanessa.
I come in lower, my last weigh-in. I want.
Like, want to just fucking eat good. It's like, that's out of the question.
McDonald's only had like apple pies left. Kingpin's like, apple.
Wesley, I demand a refund at once.
Micah Sin must be destroyed for messing with my weight.
But Micah Sin, can he climb a ladder? I don't think he can.
You're weak, Willie. Useless. Thanks, Dad.
Every time I think about the animated series Kingpin made, it's just him trying to climb that ladder.
Moriarty Wilson trying to climb that ladder.
And even the moan he makes is just so weird.
I like it when he's like, I used my mastery of technology to wipe all evidence of my existence.
It's just chatting shit.
Is he even telling at that point, man?
It's
Is it Smythe?
Yeah, probably.
Smythe is like only Smythe.
That's what he gets paid for, just to listen to him yap all day.
He's Fisk's therapist, mate.
Smythe, have I ever told you about the time I couldn't climb a ladder? Yes, Mr. Fisk.
Several times. Several times. Have I told you about my father?
And my weight.
Yes.
Even like when Batman has to try to fight Kingpin and Arkham, it's just dodging his weight to every attack. That's Blockbuster. Blockbuster is basically Kingpin, except he's not obese.
True. The Nightwing villain. Well, Nightwing's main villain,
but
is
I'm pretty sure he did fight Batman beforehand, or they fought like Batman and Robin.
Ooh. And so Nightwing's got like Batman's hand-me-down villains.
If I'm remembering correctly, they did fight beforehand.
No.
But it's like I always think the gang aspect of superheroes is the coolest part, like with gang wars and shit.
Yeah, mate. And seeing like Hammerhead trying to whack the Kingpin and all that shit.
Yeah, like City somewhat had an aspect of a gang war.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite bits, man. Where you got the Joker versus Penguin versus Two-Face.
And Two-Face.
Yeah,
and even like them, just seeing even the evolution of the goons you face. Like say all the Penguin guys went to Joker after you deal with Penguin.
Yeah, they do.
And
it's great that.
And you get to you jump in on their little fucking brief they get.
Yeah, they have like conversations about it's the world building in Arkham's unreal.
Yeah,
like you'll just be gliding by and they'll be talking about like, yeah, you're not working for Penguin anymore, bitch. Now you want a Joker's goo.
You come to Two-Face, you get two guns, bitch. But even like one of the best parts of City is before you go to the courthouse at the start, if you just like fuck off and randomly free roam.
Yeah.
You get so much unique dialogue you won't hear ever again.
Yeah, and there's so much Jack Ryder again and everything, can't you?
But like you could also like find people like trying to figure out where to go and like who to join.
Yeah.
And you've got people like contemplating, well, Penguin, like if I went for Penguin, this is the pros and cons. You know, Joker would probably just shoot me. Two-Face, you gotta worry about the coin.
You got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, it's like Penguin probably is the best person to work with.
Yeah. I don't think I like you running around my own, Batman. Piss off.
Piss off. Shut off. He said they boiled Penguin down to like angry British man. That's all he was.
I like when
your family destroyed my name.
It's like, just you and me, why? just you and me. The bat and the bird. That's rocket launcher. Yeah.
He's just, by the way, he's a fucking midget. And you do a beat down on him.
You jump over to him and grab him by the throat. That uppercut's fantastic.
But after the 20 hits, uppercut, grabbed by the throat, thrown onto the ground.
Yeah.
Mind you, he has a monocle. It has it's basically a monocle,
glass
but it's a
bottle base in it.
It's like a beer bottle. He would have smashed the shit out of that. He would be blind in one eye.
That I love when he's shooting at you with the freeze gun and you neutralize it. He's like, oh, it's not working, it's not working. As you slowly walk up to him, uppercut him off the table, send him flying.
He makes a joke about the height as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're like at the bottom.
Yeah. I love like his rivalry with, we'll get to City anyway, but his rivalry with Freeze during the whole, like, he's pissed off Mr. Freeze during that game.
Bring me, I can't do a Freeze voice, but even just like, I do like how they kept the Penguin, for the most part, basically how you'd expect this version to be. But there is one issue I have.
Go on.
In Asylum, you do know that Penguin used to be sophisticated.
Yeah.
And so
You find his
even
banners, don't you?
in the iceberg, you can find his top hats and paintings of him. So it's
Yeah.
like, when did he go wrong? Because he hasn't got the glass bottle in his eye. So
His character portraits, I know they were more comic booky in Asylum, but it's very distinguished, and he's got the top hat. He's in a suit.
yeah, and even in City, you can find the top hats in the
Yeah.
iceberg. So I would
Yeah,
have
you can.
appreciated, though, if they did, instead of going with the City, characterization, if we just got a proper classic Penguin.
Like if instead of
'Cause
the
you can
boat, you busted into the iceberg lounge.
Yeah, like an actual thing, and
Yeah.
you could have basically still had what you had in that game, but in a more like sophisticated area with a more
Yeah.
proper Penguin.
Or
He'd
yeah,
still
because
have
he's dirty and he's like smoking cigars and like blowing it in people's faces and that.
yeah,
When if
and yeah, even when he tortures Falcone's son,
Alberto
and he
Falcone, yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
good
like
thinking, mate. Yeah.
he'd when did he go wrong? That's the question. Like, when did this
Well, what they
guy?
could have done, they could have had you like raid the iceberg lounge instead, and then you could have seen as you're crawling through the vents, you could have seen Penguin like playing host to the rich of Gotham and being all
Yeah,
like
and
distinguished. And then behind the scenes, when you follow him to Alberto, that's when he starts acting dirty. So he's like putting on a mask for the people. I know what you mean. Yeah, he didn't really
it would have been
develop as a
nice
character. He was just always
if they
scummy.
showed it.
Yeah.
Well, like I'm not sure in the Arkham universe how he got the glass stuck in his eye, but
I think
also
it
like
was the Joker slamming. I remember reading it's either in a book or it might have been in that Suicide Squad movie where I think it was the Joker jammed the glass bottle into his eye. Might have been the Arkham City stories, actually.
well, if that is the case,
Yeah.
it would have been fun to see something like that just to show the hatred boil between the two.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Joker in this game was doing basically anything and everything, from blowing up orphanages to forcing Batman to kill Bane to fucking taking over an entire hotel.
Yeah,
You
he would
could
have
have had
crossed
time for it.
paths with Cobblepot, wouldn't he?
Or if by some chance Batman did it, it would have been fun to, like, when you go in to save Alberto, and
Yeah.
you know how like how he bashes the Penguin before it.
Oh,
Like if he
boss,
just smashed the glass, but like just smashed a glass in his eye.
yeah. And it was Batman the whole time, dude.
I'm just saying, like, if it wasn't Joker, it would have been cool to
Yeah.
just see it fold out through like us, the player.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
I mean, if there was a Batman from the games to do it, it would be Origins. That's when he was most like reckless.
Pissed.
Yeah, he's just angry.
This will not be my end, but it will be theirs.
Theirs. I fucking love it. It's like honestly one of my favorite moments. One of my favorite Batman and Alfred moments ever, I'd say.
Yeah. Because both are right in a way, aren't they? One's just worried about like the sun, and the other's just out for vengeance, mate.
Yeah, like he even makes a good point of like, when the mugger of the thief stops to think twice, that is fear. That is what I am.
Yeah.
Like when they breathe easy when the sun comes up. Like, yes, that's exactly right.
Nice.
But now he's just like he gets bashed for beating up the poor, doesn't he?
Yeah, apparently. Even though I don't think Cobblepot and Roman Sionis are that poor.
He's like, I'm not gonna stop this riot because they got a good reason for it. It's like, well, no.
The protesters have set fire to the library, but
readings for
they're
nerds.
Not millionaires, so it's fine. In conclusion, then, but not comic books.
No.
In conclusion, dude, Arkham Origins, make more, man. Yeah. Why is this the only? We've got such story potential. We've got 8 years of space we can fill in.
You can even do after it as well. You have like a whole deadline before Asylum.
Yeah.
And also, on top of that, if you do it, don't make it a VR game.
Yeah. Give us a proper. No No one's got this VR thing. I've not even heard of this VR thing.
Who thought that was a good idea? So these fans have been asking for an Arkham game for the longest of times, and we not only ruined their trust, but also severely damaged our brand with Suicide Squad. So let's finally give them what they want, but let's make it so only like 2% of the fan base can play it.
This could have redeemed them. They could have brought us all back and been like, yeah, that game was shit, but they've still got it. But no, like, they've got the groundwork there. As we said, just take Gotham from Arkham Knight, take that map, and give us more shit to do. That's all we want.
The only saving grace is that it looks really fun to play, but then the problem is, I'm not gonna spend like $500 just to play one game.
I'm sure it's very fun to play, but I'm not gonna play it. So
yeah, it's like it's great that you managed to get free flow combat within like VR, but it's like, mate.
But who's gonna benefit from it?
Yeah? Do you hate money?
Even if they just made it into like another animated movie, just to like keep the ball rolling. But a VR game's not going to make them any money because no one has this VR shit.
Even like at least the first time they did it, which failed, at least it was like easy to get because it was like available on PlayStation as well. Whereas here it's like
that one.
No, they did Arkham VR right after.
Oh, they did, yeah. Oh, I remember.
Even that was like such an underwhelming experience. I didn't play it, but I watched it and it just looked like a cash grab.
Yeah, it was a slideshow, wasn't it? Just like press LT to teleport up here.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you didn't really fight anyone. You just sort of like looked around and said, "Well, this happened."
That is it for VR, innit? It's just put on the headset and look around and go, "Oh, it's like I'm on a train."
But and even like the best part of that whole thing was when you go to like profiles in the Batcave that Batman has, and you can like read out Joker's criminal list, all these crimes, and it just fucking goes on and on and on. Well, like this like AI Joker is like smiling and like just like so proud of himself. It literally doesn't end.
Because it'll have stuff like murder and like arson, and then it'll have something like disrespecting the elderly halfway down, won't it? There'll be something that jumps out to make you giggle.
Even like Grand Theft Auto kidnapping.
Candy stealing.
Jaywalking, probably. Imagine if that's how they got the
that's
Joker.
How they arrested him, mate. That's how they got Capone, wasn't it?
He jaywalked. He didn't pay the jaywalking fine.
We got him, the son of a bitch.
Like, you could just imagine the FBI room when they notice, like, hang on a second. In the security footage, he jaywalked.
Look, he's littering. He's littering. Oh my god.
They start like high-fiving each other.
This sick son of a bitch. Look at this, Batman. There's a picture of him just like chucking his chocolate bar wrapper on the floor. We got him, Jim.
Just like he finds him and does that Arkham Origins beatdown on him again. You sick, littering scum. You jaywalk.
I'm here to clean up Gotham streets.
Gives him like actual brain damage this time. It's like that choice you get in the Telltale series where you can like impale Falcone onto the thing.
I remember the one from Wolf Among Us where it's like leave him be, glass him.
Do you choose to brutalize the Joker for jaywalking? Yes.
Yes, every time.
Well, is that I think we've covered quite a bit for the Arkham Origins.
Yeah, mate. Smashed it out there. Smashed it more than Batman smashed the Joker's head in that chair today.
You would have seen the brain actually like go out of his ears.
Yeah. He would not walk
just...
after that, certainly.
He would not be able to like eagerly stand up and go, "Come on, baby, punch me until your knuckles bleed." It's like, no, you wouldn't. If anything, it would just be like,
To finish, what was the funniest bit for you? The funniest Joker bit?
The funniest joke, I do think, just because it doesn't even fit at all with the tone of the game. Just having a guard go jingle bells, Batman spells, and then him going, no. It's just fucking...
Nice.
It's just random as fuck.
Yeah, mate, he's a loony, isn't he?
Yeah,
I like that.
even just, this is the saying to like, sorry, he was just saying like,
oh, God.
Get a muzzle, Jim. This one bites.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? What's your favorite joke?
At the Bane blows up the hotel that they're on, and Batman and Joker start falling down to the streets. And Batman's obviously going to save the Joker, so he grabs hold of him. Joker goes, "Oh," as they're falling like terminal velocity into the concrete. Joker goes, "Back for more, eh?" And throws a punch as they fall into the depths.
That was sick as fuck, though. Just even the way, like... It's like when you're playing with your action figures as a kid, and then you just have it so they're just falling endlessly.
Yeah.
There's something about, like, fighting in midair that's sick.
Yeah, dude.
Even, like, like in Lego Batman 2. The endless Wayne Tower.
Yeah.
Just kept going up. Or kept going down, I should say. Just never ended.
Well, he's the richest man in Gotham. He would have the tallest tower.
It can actually just grow on command.
Nice. So
I do like also, just when he goes, I already mentioned it before, but just the entire, I thought it was funny with just how Joker acted when he was like trying to get his brain fried.
Yeah.
From Jim, to then him running off like an absolute maniac. Just the whole thing was just funny.
And then when you find him again in the church, he is like pissing himself off, and he's like, "Oh, what a night we've had, Batman."
That's all he cares about.
Yeah, he's not even trying to run away anymore. He's just sat like giggling in the church.
Yeah, that's literally his only concern. It's just him and Batman.
Yeah. Well, that encapsulates the whole Arkham series, that for him, doesn't it, mate? All Joker cares about, and it seems really all Rocksteady cared about, was this relationship between Joker and Batman. The next one of these we do might be about Asylum. It might not be. But
depends.
That was
the
Arkham
amazing
Origins.
thing when you're in charge.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want.
We are running the show. The inmates are running the asylum now.
So to recap this episode, Origins good. Bruce Timm, and who was the other one that's on the Threats and Menaces list?
Oh no. Was it Christopher Drake?
Bruce Timm, Christopher Drake, and fucking Comic Hour. You are now on the Threats and Menaces.
There's a dude whose first name is Bruce and a dude whose last name is Tim. We are just Batman villains at this point.
And the other is a part of the Spider Society.
Oh, mate.
Truly
yeah, we've got to be
death-defying.
Watch out for him, he'll get his crew on us.
But we've been your co-hosts, MN Stash and...
I forgot my thing. Just Skull Ryan. That's the one. Just call me Ryan.
This has been Panel Pals Threats and Menaces, episode 4, I'm pretty sure. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.
Goodbye.